Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived.
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, everyone inside and outside of the gender spectrum. Welcome to Stardom Quest, the best weekly Stardom podcast anywhere in the world. I am today's host, Dylan Murray, because Alex is a little sicky, and he is still here. Alex, please introduce yourself.
Hello, lovely people. I'm sorry for subjecting you to a Dylan show.
That's what, dude. Why?
Because people enjoy it.
You're so mean. Okay, and we are also joined by the lovely Sondre from Dramatic Dream Dragons and just from around. Please introduce you.
Hi, I'm Sondre, Björn. You
See,
said
Alex pronounces it the way I pronounce it, and I was just like, I feel like there's an extra accent. Okay, you know what? That's cool. And I should have asked beforehand. That's my bad. Continue.
It's all good. Already I am ready for this chaos. I am holding back a smile because it's so funny already. I would be cracking up when I would be listening to this, and I will probably crack up again when I listen to it. But yeah, I actually won't listen to this episode because I hate listening to my own voice.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
I've listened to like maybe 2 episodes of Stardom Quest.
This officially will be the first Stardom Quest that I do not listen to since like 2020. So
Wow.
congrats, guys! You lost Europe by having him on.
Oh God. Yeah.
I have two dogs fighting behind me. That's lovely. But yeah, your two hosts are in bad shape because my Wi-Fi is a little bit unreliable and Alex is sick as a dog. But let's just get into it. Alex, you have the news segment, and then the rest I will be taking over for the most part. So can you give us a little bit of the news from the world of Stardom in the past week?
Yeah. So it's been confirmed that Julia will be taking on Momo Kogo, Giselle Shaw, and Deonna Purrazzo on Multiverse 2 for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. It was initially a 3-way because Giselle Shaw challenged at the same time as Deonna, and then Momo Kogo was like, "Hey, you guys skipped the line." No, so she was added because
She also did this in cosplay.
yeah, I didn't know it was her at first, and I was like, "Who is this woman?" And then somebody sent it to me and was like, "Oh, Momo Kogo did get added. Dave Meltzer was right," and I was like, "Damn." So that's the 4-way. Momo Kogo was pulled from the Midsummer Festival show, and that's there's a 3-way match now on that instead of a tag.
That's wild.
Yeah.
New Japan and Stardom just are not on the same wavelength ever.
Ever. Ever.
I mentioned this to you that like I think somebody tweeted and Mariah May, because she's a vanity searcher, retweeted it. Mariah May versus Maiutani at Royal Quest 3. And I was like, oh, that would make so much sense. Royal Quest 3 is the same day as the beginning of Goddess Tag League.
Mm-hmm.
And Mariah May is like the top contender in the Goddess division. Like she just lost the belt. So of course that's not gonna happen because these companies just don't.
Yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. They want to have their cake and eat it. They ran this Tuesday show up against the final of the G1. They really don't think things through.
No, that was the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's what I said. Oh, yeah, sorry, the pay-per-view, not Tuesday,
yeah.
sorry. Either way, the next announcement then was they added some matches to the card for the Hiroshima. I assume it's a pay-per-view in Hiroshima, but I'm not fully sure. Yeah, 5-star special. So this is on September 3rd. They have added Saori Anou and Nazepoi versus Suzu Suzuki and Mei Seira for the Goddess of Stardom Championship. We also have Sakikashima defending the high-speed belt against Momo Kogo. And added earlier in the week was a Wonder of Stardom Championship match between Mirai and the American-bound Konami. So that is a V1 for Mirai, as Konami gets ready to head off to Kitsune Pro. So good for Konami, good for Kitsune as well. That's pretty
Oh,
beast.
for real?
Yeah, did you not see?
Wow.
Oh, she's
I see. I get JoJo news from you guys,
that's
especially
valid.
Stardom.
Yeah, she's wrestling.
It's also very
She's
funny.
wrestling Masha, so it's like pretty beast.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, that's gonna be huge.
Indeed. The final set of announcements is they announced the card for the Dream Tag Festival 2023 in the Yokohama Budokan. We have Maiutani and Sakikashima versus Azumi and Starlight Kid. We have Suri and Suzu Suzuki versus Utami Hayashishita and Maika. Julia and Utami paired up again there after being kept away from each other for like 3 years. We then have Tam Nakano and Mina Shirakawa versus Natsupoi and Suri Ano. We then have Hazuki and Natsuko Tora versus Nanai Takahashi and Ruoka, and that's an interesting one.
Mhm.
We then have
That's real.
Mirai and Mai Sakurai versus Rina and Hina. Wow, poor Rina and Hina. We then have
What did they do to deserve that, man? Mirai just like
Mai Sakurai is
carrying Mai
gonna
Sakurai
beat
to
them. She's
murder.
gonna boot them in the face. And then we have Momo Watanabe and Momo Kogo versus Hanan and Mariah May. And yeah, there's a gauntlet tag after that. So this is just like a one-off show with random tag matches. I thought it was a tournament, but instead we're just getting a bunch of special tags, which is kind of fun. Assuming they go somewhere.
It's interesting because they got rid of Starman Showcase, and now they kind of are like, how do we monetize like just like
Everything.
random shows? Yeah, and they just decided, let's just call them mainline pay-per-views. Like same with the Legend show
Oh
coming
God.
up, right? Like that feels like that would be like a Stardom and Showcase special
Yeah.
where it's like Legends Day. Like that would be cool. Um, but because it's billed as like this like real mainline pay-per-view, uh, the vibes are a bit different, which we'll talk
Hey,
about later on in
hey,
the show.
Shinobu Kandori doesn't come cheap, okay?
No, I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with
The
it. Don't get
ticket
me
buying
wrong. Some
audience
people
is
aren't.
not rocking with it. But we can
Yeah.
If I was in Japan, I'd be
for
buying
sure.
that ticket. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I
to be
probably
real.
would also.
Damn, they got you.
But yeah, I think it's interesting that there's kind of running these like special shows. You know what I mean? And not like they went away from like the super out of left field shows with Starman Showcase. The last one they did was in January, I
Mhm.
believe. Maybe a little bit later, February. And since then, there's like, you know what? Let's just do like a random tag festival. Which I mean, like I'm rocking with it. I think everybody kind of looks back to the Cinderella Final 2021, and they look at it as like, oh, like that one match where they like mix match the tag teams was super fun. Everybody loved it. It was just a fun, enjoyable match and enjoyable show. Um, they kind of are like kind of trying to find that again. They're also doing that Halloween show in
Hmm.
Halloween. So they're doing a lot of specials that aren't, you know, they've gotten rid of the Starman Showcase name, but they're still
They
doing those special shows,
they
which I think
also
is
announced
interesting.
the Gold Rush show, which is once again just gonna be
Yeah,
ladder matches for money.
the ladder
So
match battle.
they're trying to get as many ideas as they can to like fit the quota of like 2 pay-per-views a month. Because as you I'm sure you saw
And
yesterday, Bushiroad is dying. It's over. New Japan killed it.
oh, of course, it's
G1
Stardom's fault.
Climax was so
Yeah.
bad that it killed Bushiroad. It is impressive from Gato.
No, what are you saying? It was Oscar answering someone about a
Oh
pineapple
God.
pizza. That was
As-
what got Bushiroad
Asuka's
stuck.
love for Hawaiian pizza
That's
killed
crazy.
Bushiroad. I don't know if you guys knew
Yeah, yeah.
that. Sandra, how do you feel about gimmick matches? I guess I was kind of past you just to get this little conversation, put a bow on it. How do you feel about the gimmick matches in Stardom? Because I love them. Alex is not as big of a fan of them.
I
Uh, how
If
about
we're
you?
talking about the Gold Rush matches, and like the Gold Rush matches, I loved from
Mm.
last year. Uh, every like every time they've done the casket match, I've hated it. The bouncy, the like false count anywhere, bouncy castle, whatever thing they did was really fun because that's like the most DDT thing
Yeah.
ever, and I I, I am a reviewer of DDT, so I love that. But yeah, it depends. It depends on the gimmick. I probably wouldn't be a fan if they did like random, like the strap match. I never want to see that ever again in Stardom. Ever.
To be fair, I think strap matches are kind of really funny because it's like, what if we did a dog color match but less like intense? Ever think about that? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the strap match. But no, I agree. I think that there's obviously like better gimmick matches than others in Stardom, but
Yeah.
I thought I'd kind of toss to you because I feel like they are kind of intersecting them a lot more than they used to be. Because obviously, like I said, Starman Showcase was a separate thing. Now they just kind of like put them into these shows to make it non-title matches, but they give it a little bit of flavor. So it's kind of interesting in that front. Alex, is there any more news
There
on your
is
part?
none that I can see. I don't even think there was anything zesty like Kyrie being like, "Hey, I'm out of here." Um, so yeah, I think we're done for the news.
There is no. I have one piece of news. Hanan wears hats now. How do we feel about
Dylan,
this, everybody?
I
How,
don't
how do
want
we
to
feel about
edit a
this?
2-hour show. Can you like please?
I know. Yeah.
I
Okay.
guess
Okay.
I
Okay.
guess
Okay. Okay. I
the
get you.
other
I
bit of
got you.
news is Aya Sakura is still not back. They've announced cards through
That's
the
true.
24th of September, and there is still no sign of Aya Sakura. So sadly, she is not nearing a comeback. It would appear.
She's more active on
Yeah,
Twitter again, because like when she first got injured, she kind of just went kind of silent. But she is a bit more active on Twitter now, so I hope she makes a speedy recovery. But yeah, that's not looking great. Unfortunately, she
Oh,
was.
that's a really cool hat. I'm sorry.
See, yes, see,
oh my
this is
god.
what I need. This is what I need from. Thank you, thank you, Sondre. But yeah, I guess without further ado, we will get into the review section. We have three shows to review and one show to not properly review. The Korakuen show is not up yet for us. We are recording it probably the day before it goes up. So next week, me and Alex will probably go the low rundown of the GP matches if they're good, because they all look like they're probably going to be really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, for this week, we're just going to kind of go through the three shows that we had to talk about, that we have seen, including the pay-per-view Stardom X Stardom, which I've realized is just pronounced Stardom Stardom, and I don't like that, so I'm going to keep calling it Stardom
Very
X
good.
Stardom. But first, we have
It's
two
better.
shows. Yeah, we have two 5-star shows to cover. One from August 10th. There was 410 spectators. It was in Okayama. Um, yeah, how we feeling about this show before we get into it? There was only two block matches, I believe, and the rest were pretty much undercard tags. But
I
two block matches were interesting.
I I will now start calling a crowd for spectators. It fits better. Thank you.
Dylan's negative
Yeah,
influence
it's
is spreading.
that's how
This is not good.
that's how
I
it automatically translates. That's how it automatically
Oh
translates.
no.
Let's be fair.
I
Okay.
I of course am an expert in Stardom house shows, so I only watched the tournament
Wait,
matches.
you didn't watch
Yeah.
Konami?
I watched. Yeah, I watched Konami. I
I
watched.
watched that segment, but
Interesting.
I didn't
Okay.
watch that match. No, wait, that was
I
on
had
the next
no
show, wasn't it?
idea.
The
I think she was
Konami
just on this one.
challenging.
No, it was on the show. It was on the show. It was on
Okay, okay.
But okay. The first match was Megan Bain and Mei, not Hoshizuki, Mei Sarah defeating Hanako and Hina. Megan Bain pinned one of them with the F5. I did not watch this match because it's it's Megan Bain and oh wait, no, this was a triple threat tag,
Yep.
I believe. This site does not translate properly. Rina and Momo Watanabe were also involved. Yeah, Megan Bain won because of course she did. And yeah, I did not watch that because why would I? I imagine none of us watched that. Alex, did
No,
you
we're
watch that? Do you
strictly
have any?
tournament and what's
Okay,
interesting. So
okay, cool. Next match, Mariah May, Waka Tsukiyama, Miya Shirakawa defeated Miyu Amasaki, Azumi, and Utami Hayashishita. Mariah May won with the happily ever after on Miyu Amasaki. Also didn't watch this match, but that's interesting. Or wait, no, I did watch this
I'm
match. This
so
was a good
surprised
match.
you watched this.
Yeah,
Although it is Queen's Quest. It is
this was
Queen's
actually a
Quest. I
good
should
match.
have
Yeah,
known.
no, that's 100% right.
Alright.
Yeah, Azumi and
Uh,
Mina killed it.
Cool.
That was the big thing. And Mariah
I
May and
like it.
Utami is interesting. And then the rest was whatever. Uh, and then yeah, I'm the only one who watched that. Next match was Yuna Mizumori, Suriano, and Tam Nakano defeating Tekla, Micah, and Julia. Tam won with the Northern Cross
Oh.
submission. Uh, she doesn't use it very often, but she ended up using it in the Megan Bane match. So that's kind of, I imagine, why she won with it here, is because that was like a big part of that Megan Bane
Master
match a couple days later.
psychologist. Sam
Um,
Nakano.
yeah, this was
Okay.
fine. I
Oh,
watched
you
it.
watched this?
I watched it for some reason. Yeah, it was.
Oh, me and Velke was wrong. Shit. So me and Velke, when we watched the show, we were looking at the card, and because we know that you use his account, we we were looking
Yeah.
at the card, and we were like, okay, which of these matches would Dylan not watch?
Crazy. That's crazy.
I did watch this one. I did
And we
watch.
were like, we saw like Donald Del Mondo and Cosmic Angels. Nah, there's no way. There's no way.
I mean, it
But yeah,
was a match that like I just kept it
Right.
rolling. You know what I mean?
Dylan
Like this
got
is the match I would have skipped.
Dylan was
This
called
is realistically
predictable
a match
for
I would have
1
skipped.
week, and he went full Elon Musk levels of gotten to. He was like, "I'm watching all the shit. I'm watching
Dude, there's
all the
no
cool
way.
matches now. Fuck you guys." So fair play, fair play.
This
Well,
wasn't a cool
no,
match, by the way.
but you know,
It was like
you got called
fine.
predictable for 1 week, and you said, "Nuh-uh, nuh-uh, sister, not today."
Not me. Not me. Nah.
yeah.
I have a TAM match to praise later. That's how crazy this got. Um,
Oh,
but the next match was a 10-person tag team match. Koguma won for her team, the team of Momo Kogo, Hazuki, Koguma, Hanan, and Saida, to defeat the God's Eye team of Shuri, Mirai, Amisore, Sakikashima, and Konami. Koguma defeated Sakikashima with her big
Oh
diving
yeah.
body splash. This is the match that kind of had a lot of stuff interesting afterwards with the Konami match, but I did watch the match overall. I thought it was pretty fun. Um, this is a peak Stars tag team match because they didn't really do much of the opening stuff. They pretty much just win at it from the start and didn't stop. And I love those Stars matches when they do that. So this was pretty fun. Um, yeah, I mean there was some good stuff
Well,
obviously, but it's like who would have thought Hazuki and Hazuki. This is me being predictable.
no,
Hazuki
you're
and
right. They
Konami
were
was
like
cool. Who
really
would have
good
thought?
together. Even if I didn't know already that Konami was the Kitsune X, I would have known something was up because she looks in the best shape she has since the hiatus. Like,
She's been doing like
yeah,
she
like
like
she's
won a
in like
jiu-jitsu tournament
awesome
or two
shape, and she
like
kept up with
recently.
Hazuki, which is not easy at all. And if she announced a full-time comeback within the next few months, I really wouldn't be shocked because she looks ready. And God's Eye could use her.
She
God's
she
Eye could
did
use her.
mention
That's all.
go on. Yeah, she did mention that she was planning to like come back to wrestling like a couple months ago. I think she was like, okay, I've had my soul searching. I've enjoyed my jujitsu time, but I'm kind of ready. And so I was expecting this return. I wasn't expecting her to come to America or anything like that. But yeah, I was expecting this return. I'm happy with this match. I think we're gonna get some good Konami going forward. And to start that off was this post match. So basically, what happened was, as I said, Sakikashima fell to Koguma. Um, and Konami got on the mic and said, "What the fuck, bro? This is ridiculous. This is supposed to be a fight team. This is not. This is not a joke. Like I thought I took this as seriously as all of you guys did, but clearly you guys don't take it as seriously as I do because Saki Kashima's here, and what the fuck's going on with that?" And so Mirai got on the mic and was like, "Hey, don't be mean to my homie." And Konami's like, "Oh, who are you to talk, homie? Fuck you." You're a pussy. And Mariah's like, okay, you know what? No. And then she started going off. She's like, you haven't even been here. You can't talk shit. It got kind of heated. It was Mariah's interesting with how she kind of like presents herself in like story bits, I guess. Like post match especially, because like they were just like fighting over the microphone, and I was like, oh, this kind of like it felt very real. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like them just like playing over the microphone or handing the microphone. Like they were just like fucking like slapping each other's hands trying to get the microphone, and they like Mariah broke a microphone, and I was like, damn, this chick's kind of getting really intense. Um, and yeah, I thought it was really interesting. So basically, Mariah is going to defend Saki Kashima's honor, and she's also going to defend the white belt uh against Konami Hiroshima, which is Konami's hometown, or at least near it. So that's interesting. Sondre, how did you feel about this post match, at least, since I don't think you watched it?
I am very hyped for that match. I think Konami and Mirai should be heated. It's happening on my birthday,
Oh, that's
September
awesome.
3rd. It's and because that's my birthday, it's also Hana Kimura's birthday. She was born on September 3rd. Also,
Oh, Konami getting a shot is actually pretty dope on that day.
yes, that is why I'm asking. Rossi, come on, just let's do a Konami switch here. Come on,
I think
let's be nice. Come on.
there's no
for
way.
me, for me,
There,
and for Hana Kimura. Come on.
there's no way in hell that Konami sniffs that belt for at least another year. I mean, like, and that's being
It would be
generous.
insane. It
If
would
she
be
comes
insane.
back full time a day after this match, at most she'll get it like year end next year, and that's not happening. I hope we all know that it's not happening. But
We all
no,
know.
I
I'm looking forward to the match though.
yeah, I mean, I mentioned it to someone, I forget who I was talking to, that it's like I imagine they run it sort of like Micah Momo, where okay, Konami is a good technical wrestler and Mirai has a good lariat. So Konami's just gonna make it hard for her to lariat people. She's gonna try to fucking break her arm. And I like that type of match. I like that kind of psychology, and I think that's exactly where they're gonna go with it. And yeah, I think Konami in a big match is gonna be super fun because it's been I think the Julia match was the last big singles match
Siri.
Konami's had.
Literally
In fact, I'm
wrestled
confident
Siri.
that is.
Yeah, like a couple of
No, she
months
didn't.
ago,
Not
right?
after Konami. Not after Julia.
That was big.
But
That
well,
was
that
on a
wasn't big.
pay-per-view.
Did you consider that big?
That
It
was
was,
awesome.
and
That
it
was
was
awesome.
also big.
I love that.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, no, I remember that now. I totally
stunting on
forgot that
Dylan.
match happened. Um, so I was thinking you mentioned it like another time. But yeah, no. So this is the first like title match he's had since Shuri in 2021 for the SWA belt, which is a UWF rules match, which is really good. And
Very
yeah,
underrated match.
I agree. I agree. I've watched it a few times actually because I'm like, this was awesome, right? And I was like, every time I love it. So yeah, I'm excited for Konami to get another big match, and that came out of this match against Stars. But I think it's time to actually get into the meat and potatoes here. It is 5-star action time. Suzu Suzuki defeated Natsuko Tora with a locomotive German suplex in 8 minutes. Yeah, just over 8 minutes. Sondre, I will start with you. How did you feel about this match?
Yeah, I love that Tora's opponents were like Shuri and then Suzu. Like, what an awesome like back-to-back match for her
Yeah.
because Tora got to really shine. They bring something out of Tora that we don't get to see that often.
No, I totally
I
agree.
and I love that. I love them kind of like Tora kind of doing heel stuff and Suzu being like, "Hi, come on, you can't out." Very similar to the last match Suzu had. I don't remember who that was against
That was
Anu. Right?
Kid
No,
or
Kid.
on
Yeah, Kid.
Kid. Yeah.
Uh, where she like basically out healed the wrestler she was wrestling, and it fit. This was kind of similar to that, but I felt Suzu did such a great job just being thrown around and bumping for Tora. Awesome performance from both wrestlers, but especially Suzu.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think that Suzu is such a good heel versus heel wrestler, and that's not a thing that people are good at, like ever.
Yeah,
Like there are so many bad heel versus heel matches because it is a heel versus heel match. But Suzu is just that type of wrestler who it's like you like her, like she's not even like a heel. She could be if she wanted to, but she's not like a true heel because she's very likable and she's very enjoyable. But if somebody tries to do heel stuff to her, she's like, "Oh no, I'm better at that than you are. I hope you know that."
yeah.
And that was what this match was, and I really liked it. Alex, I remember you texted me that you took interest in the finish, especially. Do you want to elaborate a little bit on that, or do you just want to talk about this match briefly?
Well, the
Just
match
how you felt about it.
really benefits from playing off of the established kind of stuff, in that we've seen
Mhm.
Natsuko Tora successfully cheat in this tournament. We've also seen her attack people before they even make their entrance. So seeing all that get flipped on its head was really good. It was like, hey, if you pay attention to what's happening in the tournament, we're gonna pay it off. So I think this match was enhanced by the fact that we've seen Tora cheat successfully. So here having it backfire made it that much better. And I mean, that's the kind of thing we've talked about for Oedo Tai since Tora took over it. Like, if you want the cheating to pay off, it has to work. And it works now more than it probably ever has. So when she gets her comeuppance, it's a lot better. So I thought this match really was enhanced by having watched all of Tora's stuff up to this point.
Yeah.
I love those like tournament stories because you're right. That is something that like a good tournament will have, and this is one of them where it's like Natsuko really has proven that it's like, oh, I'm gonna rampage this entire thing. Like there's no doubt in my mind. And then she gets hit with a Suzuki, right? And she's completely kind of turns it up on her head. And I really do like that. It did get very interesting near the end because Rina pulled the ref out after Suzu hit the tequila shot, I believe. Um, and she pulled the ref out, so they started cheating at each other. Like they both just like Natsuko got the bat in, the stick in, whatever. Suzu like ducked it. She took the bat, she hit it. It's not a bat, it's a stick. Momo has a bat, but stick bat, same difference. And yeah, so
The metal pipe.
Suzu removed the turnbuckle pad as well a little bit earlier in the match to send Natsuko into it. A lot of just like smart cheating in this match, and I kind of enjoyed it because it felt very like there's and I hate to bring up New Japan for a minute, but there's this match last year in Best of Super Juniors. It was Taiji Shimori against Sho, and it's like they were just comically evil against each other, and it was like the funniest match like I saw in that entire tournament, just because of how much they both were dying to cheat and just like ruin each other's day, even though they're like partners and they liked each other. Um, and I just love that sort of match, and this was that to a better degree because I think Suzu, in her modern state is probably better than those two in their modern state. But yeah, I
Yeah.
really like this match, and Suzu won it with the Locomotive German. Finally, not losing. This is her second win of the tournament. Finally, not losing a match. We homegirls doing it.
Yeah. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. And then the main event of the evening was Natsupoi defeating Maiutani with the fairy magic. That's the straight jacket, I think. I forget. I forget the finish off the top of
Yes.
my head. Um, or no,
It was kind of
she
an
rolled her up.
upset.
She rolled her up. She rolled her up.
Yeah.
She rolled her up. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, this match, I actually adored this match. This match was phenomenal. This is one of my favorite matches of the tournament. I thought it was super good. I think Mayu is just, and we'll have to talk about Stardom, but I think Mayu is just at such a high level, and she just is so interesting in the role she has right now because she'll just hurt you, and I think that's fun. I think that's peak Mayu because she just dog walked Natsupoi for a while
Yeah.
in this match.
I love I love that every like the Natsupoi matches this week, last week, the Shuri match and then this match,
Mm.
both kind of felt like very similar because she got beaten up for the whole match and got hope spots in, but in this one she actually won with the hope spot.
Mhm.
But after the match, she's like simping for the other opponent for
Yeah.
the wrestler. It's like you just got your ass kicked for like the whole match by them, and you're still like simping for them after the match. It was
And it was so good because Mayu was like, "Bro, just let me leave.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to be here. Fuck you, bro." And yeah, no, I agree. I thought it
I,
was super fun.
I've never noticed how charismatic Poi is on the mic. But the last 2 weeks, she has been really popular on the mic for me. Like her, like
That is
what is Bipoi or what does Bipoi
I
mean?
mean,
It's so funny.
I no, I feel you. There have been moments where it's like Natsupoi in the past has really like just I've noticed it because there was this one point. I think it was a tag league a while ago. It was her and Hameka did her whole thing, and then like the show closed, and then she just like took the mic and she's like, "Hey, can we just quiet down for a second? Small is also cute, thank you." And then she just left because Jumbo's whole thing was like big is strong, big is cute, all that stuff. But no, I thought that Natsupoi has been on her game.
Yeah,
I like this match, and Alex, you might feel a bit. I like this match more than the Shuri match. I thought this
That
match
is
was
ridiculous.
so fucking good. I
Oh
was just
my god.
absurdly good.
I thought it was really good, but not
Uh,
on that quite good. The Shuri match is
See, the
like
Shuri
one of
match
my
was like
favorite
maybe
matches
top
in the
5
tournament.
tournament
So.
for me, maybe.
You are like towing the line. Like this
It's just
show
because of that one match. It's funny though.
this show is
Like,
not seeing out
It's
the
top 2 for
GP
me.
because you are gonna get yourself kicked off, my friend. Like I
It's
can't be
funny
having
because
this.
like you're a Natsupoi fan.
I
Like you
am.
should be happy that Natsupoi is still
Well,
on my top 3
I am,
because of this
but
match.
like the Siri match was just perfect. So I just don't get it. But you know what? It's fine. It's okay. I'll just kick you
Really
off
was.
1 week and nobody'll realize.
I don't think it's that easy. There are certain spots in this match that I do kind of just want to take notice of. So they were just throwing Germans on the apron, just like a couple minutes into the match, just because and I think Poi was just selling Mayu's stuff incredibly, and I think that's always important because Mayu is a master seller. But when somebody sells their ass off for Mayu, it's just chef's kiss. And
How about that standing
dude, the Chibi
Dragon
killer,
Sleeper into the German?
the Chibi killer into
Yeah.
the two-step German. I also love that Mayu did not hit her with the two-step dragon because she's not letting homegirl kick out of that. Um, so she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna pretend like I did, but actually no, I didn't. Because that's wrestling, baby. And yeah, I mean, Mayu pulled out the tombstone, man. Like that means she respects you, and that means that it's a good match. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, I love this match
Yeah, for
overall.
sure.
I thought it was so good. Um, Natsupoi now has a floor of 9 points in the tournament, so the tournament now has a floor of 9 points,
Yeah.
which
The Hasuki of the
yeah,
tournament this year.
wild that that's where we're at. I mean, like I like Natsupoi, but that's
I
crazy that she's like
I already
she's holding this
see
cap.
people getting their hopes
Oh
up
yeah, no.
for this for Natsupoi getting into the
I mean,
final.
who do you think Ami Story is gonna pin? That's my question.
I,
I mean, it's gonna it's gonna be Natsupoi.
and also like it's so similar
Yep.
to Hasuki last year, who had
It's kind of
basically
like
the
the
same run
inverse because
almost.
Natsupoi last year she didn't lose all of her first couple matches, but she was rough. She had a rough start to last year's tournament before she kind of evened out after a
Yeah,
bit. Um, so yeah, I mean it's interesting in that case. I do have one little tidbit. This is a rare occasion. It might be one of the first times ever that every single member of Stars has won their match on the same show that Mayu has lost hers. Um, because like Hanan and Momokogo were not winning matches without Mayu ever. You know what I mean? So this is one of the first times ever that Stars was like self-sufficient without Mayu to win a match, even though it was because Sakikashima uh, anchored her team. But I thought that was a little interesting factoid that it's like Stars is kind of, not so shit anymore just because other teams are a bit more
I
shit.
mean, yeah, it was only one
Yes,
other Stars
exactly.
match on the show, so it's not
Exactly.
that big of a victory.
Well,
But
I thought the match was great.
But yeah,
yes. Oh yeah, yeah. How did you feel about the match, Alex?
It was a slightly lesser version of Siri versus Natsupoi in that it hit all of the beats, but the crowd wasn't as hot, and obviously you didn't have the extra 4 minutes of ramping up. And also Siri was kicking way harder than Mayu, although Mayu's little jabby kicks are like the best shit ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like great Mayu beating somebody up performance. It just so happened to come a couple days after Siri and Poi kind of perfected that style of match. So it was still great, but it wasn't as great as the match from a few days ago. But I mean, it
Maybe
was
I
awesome.
gotta rewatch the Shuri Natsupoi match because, like,
You
I
do.
liked it.
The crowd was
you
crazy.
got
Like I don't know how you
you
don't.
got to.
Like I was jumping out of my chair at some points. Like it was awesome.
It's like the best match in
Wow.
KBSO ever.
That's
Like,
wild for
for
you.
sure. I have I
Yeah,
have
I was about
watched
to
a
exactly.
say
lot
that
of
you're like a
KBSO
Dragon
matches.
Gate head. Like that's a Dragon Gate place.
Yeah, but like KBS Hall is a tour
That's
show
true.
for Dragon Gate. They don't treat it like a big
But
show.
anyway, after the
That's
match, Natsumi poyed Mayu's finger in a very strange way. Um, and then she
You
was like,
leave
"I
her
beat the
alone.
IWGP champion." She
Leave
she
her
did it to herself.
alone.
Let's be real. And then Natsupoi was like, "I beat the IWGP champion," and Maya was like, "Bro, just shut the fuck up. We know. Like, I got it. Yeah, I know. Okay, just fuck off."
Sore loser, Mayu.
And then Natsupoi is like, "I respect you, Mayu," and Mayu's like, "You shouldn't. Leave me alone." And what is Bipoi? And yeah, that was that show. I thought it was the two block matches were great. This past week was kind of when I realized that it's like this tournament is kind of like it's hard to not like it's hard to have bad matches in this tournament because it's
Yeah.
just not really happening. Like they're kind of killing it.
yeah,
This is not
yeah.
translating. So do you have any closing statements about that show, Sondre? And then I'll go to Alex briefly.
No, both the block matches was great. That was the only thing I watched. If I had time, I would have watched the Konami 8 Movement Tag, but I watch a lot of wrestling and I also work a lot during August and July, so yeah. Sorry.
And Alex, any closing remarks?
I-
No, I think I got them. I mean, I reviewed this show for Voices of Wrestling, so if you're really that desperate for more, you can read that. I basically say all the same stuff. So
And they wrote that when they weren't
was not
in
sick
hell
yet.
with
I don't
sickness.
know
Yeah.
where this came from. Like I went to the shop earlier and watched the Australia match, and I was like fine. And then about like 2 o'clock, my body was like, if you don't go to sleep now, I will combust. So here I am, recording.
And I hope everybody knows this was Alex's choice. They decided to be like, "Oh yeah, we could do a 3-person," and I was like, "Okay,
Yeah,
cool."
I wouldn't miss
Like
a pay-per-view.
I'm not forcing them to be here. I'm not forcing
Yeah.
them to be here. But everybody knows that I'm not evil. Unlike
and and I luckily was
yes,
Yeah,
available.
yes,
otherwise
it
the
was
show would
short
be like,
notice too. That was the
yeah, the show
beauty.
would be 90% Dylan. I'm not just saying that's a bad thing, but even Dylan would have to be like, my throat is killing me, please, somebody help.
I know, and I have a party to go
Oh
to
my
later. I
god.
can't be I can't be
Yeah, I
dying.
can't forget that.
But yeah, so next show is the August 12th show. It is the 5-star Grand Prix Starverse SoftBank. It's the Himeji tournament. There are 507 spectators, which is a full house in this venue. This is a wild show. I'm just gonna say that the top matches, just dumb. Like I think this is like the fucking Twilight Zone. It's a bizarre show. But anyway, getting into the matches, I only watched a couple of these matches, obviously, because I'm me. But the first match was Rina defeating Hina and Miyu Amasaki in 5 minutes. Rina won against Hina with the jackknife pin. Um, it's an opener. That is what it is. Next match was Tekla defeating Saya Ida with a diving body press. She like twisted her body halfway. It was like a 90-degree twist. I watched this because, of course, I did. It was fine. It was solid. I worry about Tekla because I really want her, and I've said this before. I want her to just get more things to do. 'Cause she feels like she's a bit unmotivated, and I don't blame her. So hopefully she can start doing something. Ida has like a singles match this weekend, and Tekla does not. So that's fun. Next match, I also let me first preface. Did anybody see any of the undercard, or can I just run
No.
through it? Cool.
No.
Next match was Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and Natsuko Tora defeating Yuna Mizumori, Natsupoi, and Tam Nakano. Momo won with the inhumane B driver against Yuna Mizumori, the bastard driver, if you will, in 10 minutes and 55 seconds. Next match was Hazuki Koguma and Mayu Iwatani defeating Hanako, Mariah May, and Waka Tsukiyama. Koguma defeated Hanako with a diving body press. This was solid. The crowd was like really hot for Hazuki versus Hanako for some reason. And I was like, oh, this show's gonna be decent because like the crowd is actually like they care about something that doesn't really matter at all. Um, but yeah, the parts of this I paid attention to were fun. The rest was I don't know. Watch it yourself.
All right.
Uh, next match was Megan Bain, May, Sarah, Suzu Suzuki, and Micah defeating Sakikashima, Ami Sourei, Mirai, and Shuri. Megan Bain defeated Ami Sourei with the
Wow,
F5. This is huge, large, medium, and small. That's the team name, by the way, in case anybody
incredible.
was wondering. Shuri was late to her introduction on this one, which was very funny because she had to like scurry over to the rope, and it was just like last minute. It was really funny. And yeah, there were some good parts of this, but it ended with Megan Bain and Ami Sourei, or no, Megan Bain having to stare off with the new eras,
Oh God.
and then they going at it, and I was just like, I don't want to be here, man. Like I'm good, and yeah, it was a fine match. Shuri and Suzu obviously had some fun stuff, but other than that, not much to write home about. And from there, we have three block matches, all three of which have some varying opinions on them from the world of Joshi Twitter. So I will start with the I think most highly praised of the three and the most universally praised of the three. It is Hanan defeating Azumi with a backdrop driver, a backdrop teardrop driver, if you will, in 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes. I'm going to start with you this time, Alex, because I would like to hear you say it. How was this match?
This was great.
Yeah,
This was the match of the night.
yeah.
Azumi and Hanan did some like incredible
Yep.
counter wrestling.
Who would have thought? Huh?
I thought Mirai
Yeah.
versus Hanan would be the best Hanan match of the tournament. Because Mirai was beating the shit out of Hanan, and every other Hanan match was kind of similar. But this one was just two wrestlers. It wasn't just the Hanan special. It was Azumi being like, okay, we're doing counter stuff. We're doing, we're popping the crowd. You're gonna wrestle. And yeah, she really brought out a great side of Hanan, who kept up with Azumi, which is obviously very difficult to do. And they built to the finish really well. Like the crowd was really into it. And yeah, Hanan winning was quite the surprise because I don't think I knew who won any of these matches. So I saw her get the win, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy!" So yeah, this was a great match of the night,
And it
and
was a
yeah,
clean as it was clean as hell too. Like she
clean
just
as a whistle.
kept dropping on her head, and it was like I win now. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, I loved this match. Eh, maybe not like a top three match of the tournament or anything like I was making jokes about, but it was top 10 for me just because it's on a personal level. I just like love both of these wrestlers, and I've been rooting for them for the entire time I've been watching. Since Hanan debuted, basically, I think I started watching like a few months, maybe like less than a year after she debuted. Uh, and Azumi, us being the
Yeah.
same age, has always made her my favorite. So it's like I've been always rooting for these wrestlers, and them just having this insane match just made me very, very happy. I didn't watch this until yesterday, so I had gotten so many texts like, "Oh, you're gonna be so happy. You're gonna be so happy with how good it was," because it's like I've been saying be great, hoping that they both operate on the level I know they could. But at the same time, I also knew that they could just you know, just be like, "Oh yeah, I know you." We could just kind of go through it, and then somebody wins and whatever. Uh, and just so many people have like texted me like, "Oh, you're gonna love this." Like it was a great match. And when I get that about a match, I usually like start out like, "Okay, when is this gonna get really good?" Because like I kind of I'm a little bit skeptical, even when it's wrestlers I love. I'm a bit skeptical, and then like I just got lost in it because it just got so good. The counter wrestling was so good, especially by Azumi. Uh, she really she really changed the game for Hanan, I think, because it felt like you said, like Hanan was a wrestler. She wasn't a, you know, hot shot trying to make an impact. It's like no, she wrestled this match as if they were equals. Even though Zumi got more of the offense and was just a bit more dominant for most of the match, Hanan really got her time to shine and really showed that she isn't just a kid wrestler anymore. She has turned 19. She's ready to kind of start leveling up like Starlight Kid and Azumi did when they were turning 19. So yeah, I love this. There are some like little intricacies I can kind of get into, but I want to
Oh.
pass it over to I will. I want to pass it over to Sondre. Tell me how you felt about this match, bud.
Yeah, so after this match was over, well, during the match, me and Valky was like, this is Hanel's best singles match ever. After the match was over, we were like, yeah, that was for sure her best singles match ever. and we instantly said, "Oh no, Dylan is going to be very
Oh, hell
insufferable
yeah.
about this on Stardom Quest." But yeah, this was awesome. Let it be known that Hanan outworked Julia in a singles match on this show. That should be noted because Hanan put in more effort than Julia did in the next match, and I just wanted to say that. But yeah, I love this match. I am very much on your side of this, of all of this. Hanan and Azumi are two of my favorites, and they've been that way since I started watching. Like, much like exactly like you. I basically grew up. My Stardom
Yeah.
viewing grew up with
Exactly.
Hanan,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's very similar. So yeah, I love this match. I don't have anything else to add except what you said.
Go on, go on.
I really
That
like
was
the
actually
flying uppercut from
that was gonna
Hanan,
be
and
my big thing was that it's like I think that's a really cool move. She took it from Okada, I believe, is
yeah,
what she said in like an interview that she saw an Okada match and was like, oh, that's cool. I like that. And I thought that was great. And also just the finish, like I said earlier, it was great. She just dumped on her head. But I thought they were all she had a really interesting way of like increasing the violence on each of her backdrops because she hit probably like 5 throughout the match. The first one was
yeah,
just kind of like a basic backdrop. The second one was like a backdrop driver, but she didn't pin her with it. And then like the third one she like got the teardrop in, she like hooked the leg. And then the last one, she just broke her neck. You know what I mean? Like it just like it really even though she used the same finisher, quote unquote, like various times, like I said, 4 or 5 times in the match, you could tell when like, okay, this is like the one that you're not going to kick out of. And I thought that's a really interesting way to kind of do your moves. Because people are always kind of like, oh, I need a new move to kind of like make, because my last one just got kicked out of. It's like, no, if you just do your move, but have it a bit more like tight and a bit more aggressive and you just kind of do it better, you could get a lot of longevity out of one move. And Hanan showed that with the backdrop. She just it was
yeah,
great. I really did. I loved this match. I thought it was really, really good. But yeah, it's funny you mentioned the European uppercuts, the elbows, because I love that. I love that move. I think, especially when the opponent's kneeling and she runs at them. I think that's such a great and swift move that she could use, and
yeah.
she's been using it, and it's been really, really fun. Um,
Like it. I think she will just keep improving that one because it's a great one to have in her moveset. Also, last thing, the Sumi armbar
mm,
from the top rope, a thing of beauty. Oh my god,
yeah, I
lovely
mean,
spot. A lovely sell from Hanan when she tried to get
I think
out
that's going to be such
armbar.
a big thing for Hanan. And I know, Alex. I know. I'll move on soon. I think that's going to be a huge thing for Hanan is that she has such a great selling ability. Um, I don't want to call it Mayu
Yeah,
like because I think it's a bit much, but you could tell she's trained under Mayu for years now because she's just such a good seller, and that is going to be such a big thing, to just be a top baby face because she's you just want to root for her. There's like a sympathy there that it feels inherent, at least to me. But then again, I have I've been watching her since we were both teenagers, type of thing. Um, she still is, but you get what I mean. But okay, that's enough. Azumi Hanan, it was a great match. I'm super happy. Uh, I enjoyed it thoroughly.
yeah.
Next match was Mina Shirakawa defeating Julia with the figure four driver Mina. I've heard a lot of varying thoughts about this match. I think for the first time, I think I am higher on a Julia slash Mina match than Alex's, because than anybody is pretty much. I haven't heard a lot of praise for this, but I thought this was pretty good. I mean, I didn't think it was great. I just thought it was pretty fun. But I'm gonna jump to you, Sondre, since you sounded like you have some spicy.
No, not a good weekend for
No,
Julia.
no, and it's a shame because like she wrestled two really good wrestlers, and it just is, oh wow,
Yeah, this was yeah. Nothing about this match connected for me
that's
at
interesting.
all. Uh, yeah, I don't know. And it's weird because I've been high on both wrestlers this year. I was looking forward to this match a lot, but I don't know. They were a very. It was very off during the whole match for me. Um, I the like one thing I remember is that Julia got
Yeah.
dropped on her head from a backdrop,
See,
and that was awesome.
and this is gonna, and again, Alex said that this is gonna be our last couple episodes because he's gonna kill me. This is one of my favorite Mina matches of the tournament. uh,
Dylan,
yeah, I
Oh
mean,
my god.
no,
what?
because I feel like this is
You're
no, because the way that you were
insane.
describing this is how I felt about the Mirai match. Whereas like this one, I was just like, oh yeah, this was like fun, you know, like they like I
First of all, I did not enjoy the Mirai
okay.
match that much
Okay,
either.
that's fair. But
So
no, I thought that this was like a fun match. Like I didn't think it was that bad, but I definitely do like they it's Mina Julia. So it's like there are certain things I expect from it. Certain things where it's like, okay, they're going to act like there's more to this than there is, and they're gonna try to make it something, and it probably isn't going to, and that'll make it fall flat a bit more. So when I go into it looking at it like that, I was just like, oh yeah, they did some cool stuff, right? I enjoyed a decent amount of this. Whereas like with Mina and Mirai, it was a match that I was like super looking forward to. I was like, oh, this is gonna be phenomenal, and I just didn't feel like it reached those expectations. So a big part of this is expectations. I didn't expect too much from this, and I was like pleasantly surprised with a few good things. Alex, I know you're gonna call me a bizarre and idiotic man, but how did you feel about this one?
Um, yeah, I actually watched this before anything else, and it was so middling that I thought I had hit tournament fatigue. I was like, oh no, like
yeah,
I was
that's
like, oh,
going
the
to be.
matches are not hitting anymore, and it just turns out it was this match. It was
Yeah,
like mechanically fine, but they both have another level that neither of them got close to. Like, where was the hard hits? You are both insane women who throw hard hits. Where were they? It was just the most like bare level Mina legwork that kind of came into play with Julia doing the hits, and I feel like the two of them, with how they normally are, you'd expect a lot more just emotion and intent and to be hooked, but they didn't hook me or most people at all. So it's like completely fine, but they didn't really do anything to grab me at all. And it seems like it was kind of the same for most people. They just kind of were like, yeah, that was alright, I guess. So yeah, a bit of a swing and a miss there. Mina's having a weird one.
you said it, not me.
And it's weird because her year up to this point has been
Yeah.
so
And
great.
that's the funniest thing is that it's like traditionally in recent years, Mina has had a pretty shit year and then a crazy tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every 5 star she's entered, it's come after like, oh, I don't know how excited I am about this Mina run because it's like she just hasn't really been killing it lately, and then she has a crazy tournament. This year, it's felt like she's had a pretty solid run, especially in singles match. Like that Natsupoi match against Mina, uh, I don't know how I felt about it at the time, but I do think that was like such a great match. I know I liked it, but like I don't know if I like prefaced enough how great it was because I just felt like everything clicked and it really was like, okay, yeah, Mina has like this place to go for singles matches. Like there's really something there. Um outside of the 5 star. And then we get into the 5 star and it just feels like it's gone. Like not gone, but I just feel like she has like a ceiling that wasn't there previously. Um she hasn't hit
but
it yet.
you
She hasn't
say
hit it
that.
yet, but, like, it just feels like, okay, it feels like she's pacing herself for not as great of matches as she has in the past, if that makes any sense.
You, you say that, but the day after she had an awesome tag
No,
title
Yeah.
yeah, but that's
match.
what I mean is that it's like and I'm actually really
Yeah,
upset that she lost those belts because I feel like that was where I really got Mina. And it's like I've enjoyed plenty of Mina singles matches, but, like, that tag reign, I was like, "Oh, this is where, like, for me, like, Mina is going to completely click because she is right now," right? Like, in those tag team matches, she's always killing it. She's always super fun, and this 5 stars is not really clicking for me right now. Like I said, this was probably my favorite Mina match, and I
yeah.
didn't think it was that great. I just thought it was like I just enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like, uh, and I didn't see any glaring issues with it like I have in her other matches personally thus far. Um, and sometimes they aren't her issues. Like the Utami match, that was a fine match, but the issue was an Utami issue and not a Mina issue. But it's just yeah, it's a odd situation for Mina. It feels like
She'll be
because,
fine.
like I said, I enjoyed this.
She'll, you
No, I
know,
agree.
she'll kick ass.
She'll be
It's
fine.
good.
She'll be fine. I'm sure the Mariah match was great. Like if that match, and we'll talk about it next week a little
You
bit.
know
But if
what's
that match
funny?
was bad,
This match doesn't even have enough ratings on Cage Match to have
yeah.
a
No, I know.
score.
I checked.
Like that's how little people cared about this one. That's crazy.
And that's the thing with Stardom is that it's like it's very rare that it gets low ratings, just because if people don't like it, there's gonna be like, I'm not gonna touch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of how, and that's just how a lot of Joshi wrestling is. I think that's just like, I'm not gonna
The
shit on.
Hanan match is rated. The Hanan match has a rating, but the Jura
Yeah,
and Mina
Yeah.
match
yeah.
does not. We have reached
This
peak
is-
stardom,
This
guys.
is what 2018 people were waiting for, buddy.
Oh God.
Yeah,
But no, I mean, and like if the Mina Mariah match was left stuff to be desired, that's when I would get concerned personally, right? Because it's like
Yeah.
that's a match that like Mina, she wanted it to be good. So if it wasn't, good, then that's a concerning
do
issue. But we'll see when we talk.
do we think that they were holding back because they will have a rematch later
No.
in the
No,
year
It
for the
just
I don't
wasn't
think so.
semifinal?
good. I don't think that's really it. Honestly,
Okay.
it just didn't work.
And I mean, they also historically are not like absurdly great together. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like last year, their match was a bit weird. I mean, it was a good match, but it wasn't like anything phenomenal. People just remember it for being the first match that Mina did the figure four. Uh,
Yeah, I remember that. It was like a figure four on the
she
ramp, and
they
did
did a
like
figure four in the ring, and then they rolled out to outside of the ring and
yeah.
kept going, and I was
Oh,
like, "What are you? Okay,
yeah, I remember that. That was bad.
yeah,
That
it
was
wasn't great."
bad.
But that's enough on that match. I'm sure Mina will pick it back up. I thought it was a good match, but it wasn't up to the standard I think some people have. And then the main event of the evening was Utami Hayashishita's 5th anniversary match. It was her defeating Soriano with a deadlift German suplex hold. Um, this felt like the Utami you kind of want to see, right?
Yeah.
And this is an Utami that you're kind
Yeah.
of scared isn't going to be popping her head out all that much, given the Mina match and the Mayu match a day later, which we'll talk about. Which I thought both of them were solid matches, but like I said, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But this is the Utami you want to see because this was really really good. Her and Ano had like absurd chemistry that I was not expecting whatsoever. Like it just felt like they had this vibe to it that it felt like they'd been wrestling for years. And this is their first time like interacting, I'm pretty sure. They might have had like one tag, but like this is the first singles, this is one of their first close contact, type of things.
That's because Anu is the twink version of Itami. Didn't you know that?
I, hmm, that's
She's the
that's
smaller
an
version of
interesting
Itami.
theory. No, I could see that. I could see that. I
Yeah,
haven't thought about that.
yeah.
I love being enlightened about new things. Um
They both love throwing Germans. They are both really. They can both be really rude when they
they both have
hit
that
each other.
glare. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They both have that. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, you're on something there. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I think that this match didn't suffer from any of the problems that like Utami has kind of been displaying recently. That being a certain sense of urgency, I think is has always kind of been an issue for Utami until pretty like the past year or so, and it felt like that was coming back, and that's kind of a worry. But I thought this match didn't suffer from that whatsoever.
She
This
threw
match
Ano around,
gave me hope.
and that's all we need from Utami. Like,
Yeah,
just throw people. You are a muscle bitch. Throw people. Be muscles. Cause yeah,
this match gave me so much hope.
the technical stuff is just not it. Like, I know you're a judoka and stuff, but just throw people. Like, it is so much better.
It's also I feel like there's a technical lane for Utami that she just doesn't really go to.
No.
Like people were making jokes coming out of the her American excursion that she's gonna start using um the sharpshooter, right? That's like a perfect like if you ever want to do like technical stuff, just do that. Like you're a power wrestler, you could just do power submissions. Like you don't have to try to
Let's
get into
not
stuff. Just
shuttle
have
her
one
down that
submission move.
avenue, because when you say power submissions, I think Kyoko Inoue. So please, we're not we're not encouraging that. Let's not do
See, I
that.
think of Dynamite Kansai,
That
who
is
who
not at
made
all a
I think
power submission.
Dynamite Kansai made me believe in Boston Crabs.
Yeah, I don't know. I
No
don't know
joke.
about that, man.
That's what Dynamite did, and she also kicked the fuck out of
Yeah.
people. But that's besides the
Beast.
point. But no, I thought it was like a really, really good match. This match made me think, oh, maybe Utami does have that dog in her. And I watched the show. We all watched the show after Stardom Stardom.
Yeah.
So, you know, that I didn't
Well, you know
preface
what?
that,
Let's
but
just get into it. Let's tear it apart. Let's go.
no, yeah, I agree. Next up is Stardom X Stardom,
Woo.
August 13th. 1,796 spectators, so just under 1,800. Inside of Osaka Edion Arena number one,
Number
numero
one.
uno, if you will.
Attendance talk. They seem to have hit a ceiling in Osaka. Like this just seems to be the number they're gonna do, no matter what they put on the card. This was up from their last visit to Osaka, I think, but it's like the exact same as it was a year ago. So yeah, in Osaka, we're seeing Stardom bonk into that ceiling. So I think that's the only.
And it's kind of noticeable. I feel
Yeah.
like even crowd wise, it kind of just the vibe feels like that's where it's gonna kind of max out. And you look at that, that is kind of unfortunate. The New Japan G1 show that took place there a couple days prior, that got 3,200. So yeah, this is I mean, 1,800 ain't anything to cry about, but it's not. Doesn't feel like they're really making much way in Osaka, in comparison to how they're doing in like Yokohama
Yeah.
or in Tokyo even. Um, but yeah, the first I'm not going to do the entire gauntlet. I'm sorry. Uh, they have like every single
Yeah, that's
individual match
fair.
of the gauntlet on here.
Honestly.
I'm just like, I'm not doing that. May Sarah defeated Tekla and Micah in the last round of the gauntlet. To win
Susan,
the
I got the
draw.
win, but you said May Sarah.
Yeah, but
yeah, May
Oh,
Sarah.
May
You
Sarah
just met
fucking
Suzuki. That is crazy.
no,
That is
I med my own
I'm
fuck up
telling
because who
everybody.
cares?
I'm
That's
telling
that's
everybody.
why. No, you act like I haven't been
I'm
the one
telling
of the two
everybody.
of us who has been like
I'm
obsessed
getting you
with
in
Suzu
trouble. I don't
Suzuki
care.
for the past
I'm
like
actually sending a message now to everybody.
to everybody.
Everybody. Yeah.
At everybody.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're going into all the
You're
discords.
damn
No,
right.
but no, because I actually read the one before that where Marcia did win, but it doesn't matter. Suzu Suzuki won with tequila shot on Tekla, in a 3 minute, the last of the end of the gauntlet, whatever. Sarah did like obliterate Micah with a fucking uh with a forearm, and that was the only note I took about the entire gauntlet, honestly.
Hey, because of this gauntlet, technically, Momoka Hanasono and Yuna Mizumori has beaten Shuri.
This is true. They have been on the winning side of a match against
That's
Shuri.
great.
And it's funny because
It-
I think Alex was like, "Oh, they can't. They put Momoko against Shuri. That's so mean." And then she won, and it was like, "Holy shit!"
The GOAT. What can I say? Hanazono's the best.
To be fair, Golden Death came out and won like 2 minutes later though. But that's besides the point. Gauntlet was fine. I was watching. This is the match that I watched while watching the G1. The rest of it I watched isolated, but I was like checking out some stuff from the G1 I hadn't finished because they did go back. They did go head to head against the G1 final, and that's rough because spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen the G1. Naito fucking won the G1 final. And
yeah,
I don't think I would ever want to put anybody in the world ever against Naito winning a G1. Like that's just not that's not what you want to do as a booker. But I decided to stick with this show, following the gauntlet and just watching the G1 afterwards. But so to get into the actual show that wasn't just the gauntlet. Starlight Kid defeated Natsuko Tora in 7 minutes and 30 seconds with the Momo latch. Um, Kid's up to 2 points, so Hazuki is now officially the last wrestler to have 0 points in the tournament. Oh man, that's really sad. Yeah, how do you guys feel about this match? I'll start with you, Alex. Just get into a little bit. How you feel about
It
this
was
one?
good. Certainly could have been better, but I mean, it was only 7.5 minutes, and what we got was decent action. People trying to out cheat each other, then Power Tora versus Speedy Kid, and a slick Momo latch for the finish. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, I kind of my exact wording on my notes was "can't complain too much." It
Yeah.
was fine. I thought it was a good match, but there wasn't too much to it. Uh, excuse me. I do always find interest, and Sondre, I'll get to you in a second and let you talk about it. But I do always find interest in Oedo time matches. Like to see who helps who cheat. Um, and it felt like Momo and Rina were helping both of them, but they were definitely helping Kid a bit more than Natsuko, and I was like, oh, that's so mean. That's your leader. Show some respect. Come on now. Um, but yeah, that was just a funny little thing because they were helping Natsuko too, but like they were really helping Kid, and I found that kind of funny. Sondre, how did you feel about this
Yeah, I don't know. It was a match.
That was totally
Oh, I wish
totally
I,
fair.
I
I
wish, I wish,
honestly can't remember anything of
Yeah.
this match.
I wish that's how I could respond to every Kid match. Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
crazy. That's crazy.
That's
He's
just
right, but like, damn.
I, I, uh, I for the 5-star matches, I take notes.
Right.
Okay, for the on the tournament shows.
Yeah.
Right. For this show, I totally forgot
Oh my
about that.
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that because this was. I didn't expect to review this show. I didn't expect to talk about the show.
Yeah, this was
that
like a
much.
last minute. This was like an hour and a half ago. I texted Sondre, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, like the only match that I have like great a lot of memories from is the tag title match and the 2 last matches.
Hmm.
This match was fine. I remember being entertained by like a power bomb.
That's decent.
And the
Afterwards-
finish was fun.
yes, but afterwards, Natsuko accepted her divine punishment because she's a chump who lets a child make her look like a fool. I'm kidding.
That's
I love
crazy.
Natsuko. And then from there, there was okay. So the tag team match was great, but that's not the next match. From there started a train of matches that didn't know what they wanted to be,
Oof.
and that was the story of the show. So the next match was Sakikashima versus Koguma. Sakikashima defeated Koguma in 4 minutes and 55 seconds with the revival because of course she did. So they built this match as like, oh, we're gonna do bits and it's gonna be funny. And I didn't expect it to be just bits. Like I didn't expect them to play rock paper scissors and then that's the match. But like I expected it to like kind of dip into that funny part, and I was excited for that. Like I was like, oh, they could do like the old Unagi matches, right? The old 3 ways where they just kind of like do like bits and then they get into the wrestling and then somebody wins or loses or draws. They didn't even do that. They just were like, "Hey, let's do a bit," and then like 2 seconds in, like betrayed her, and they started wrestling a match, and that's fine, but it just felt very uninspired, and it felt like if they had done a little bit of the comedy stuff that they had like kind of I don't want to say advertised, but they kind of like presumed to be doing, I thought this would have been a lot better, just
Yeah.
because it would have given it a bit more life to it, because it just felt like any other 4 minute Saki Kashima high speed match. Like there wasn't a lot of intrigue to it. And I think if they kind of did dip into like the part where like Saki just wants to do funny stuff and just wants to like, play rock, paper, scissors and, run under the ring and do this and that, I think that could have maybe made this a bit more lively than it was. Because it wasn't like a bad match by any means. It just felt kind of soulless. And that's not what you expect from the build and the 2 wrestlers in it. So yeah, that was how I felt about this match. I'll go to you first, Sondre. How did you feel about this one?
Yeah, basically the same. I thought they had so much potential to do great stuff, and
Mhm.
they just didn't capitalize on it at all. Uh, yeah, I kind of want that from the Sakikashima title matches, where kind of like the I kind of just want matches like the Azumi match that she had in Korakuen when
Mm.
she,
Yeah.
not she didn't win, not the match she won, because she didn't win it in Korakuen.
No.
She won it in a 3-way, but I kind of want the matches that she had in Korakuen, the like 2-minute sprints and like 2-3 minute sprints, and that they do just crazy stuff for that short of amount of time and then they move on. I Saki Kashima, you are such a great seller because I couldn't believe it. Like her after this match sold it like it was like
Yeah.
the longest match she had ever had. And I was like, okay, come on, calm down.
She acted like
This
she
was
just won. She acted like she just won the championship league or the Champions League,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like no, it was 3 minutes, honey. 4 minutes, but who's counting?
5.
Yeah, no,
It was 5 minutes.
it
Come
was
on now.
it was just under
Yeah.
5 minutes. I'm trying to undersell it.
Don't
I'm trying to undersell
don't
it 'cause
do
it
that
is
to
funny.
Saki.
It's funnier if this was like a 2 minute. It'd be funnier if this was a 2 minute match and she
Saki
just like
doesn't
was like
deserve that.
exhausted. She like was
She
blown out.
worked for 5
Um,
minutes for your entertainment.
Her her reaction to May
but
Sarah post match was great.
yes, but we'll get to that in a minute. Alex, how do you feel about that match overall? Did you have the same gripes
This
that
was the
we kind
worst
of did?
high-speed title match since that one Natsupoi Kid draw that was like 10 different matches in one. This
Mm.
was awful. Like, Koguma was like kind of sticking to the I won't run thing, but they barely even brought it up. So it was just her just standing mostly still while Saki ran around. And they didn't play off of any of the established story going in. Like, it was just so uncreative and lazy. So yeah, I hated it. Like, there was so much potential with this one, and they just didn't use any of it. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed by this, all things considered.
No, I get that. I liked it. Like I thought it was a finely worked match. I didn't hate it, but I definitely can see what you mean. Where it was deeply disappointing in comparison to like what I think they could do if they, kind of just like let it flow a bit more and were just like kind of having fun with it. Uh, which they didn't do, unfortunately. But yeah, after the match, after the revival, Saki was dead inside. She was tired and she did not want to do anything. And then you see in the background, fucking May Sarah running in from the corner and getting onto the apron, being like, "Hey, I want a match." So Saki is like, "You know what? I respect you. I think you really are persistent. I'm gonna shake your hand, and I am going to defend my championship again." Everybody's like, like clapping. May Sarah's super excited. She's like, against Momoko, please.
I marked out on Twitter before she said
Yeah,
Momoko.
yeah, yeah. I saw that. I saw that. And then she's like, yeah, I'll defend my championship again. Here, I'll shake your hand. I'll shake your hand. Everybody's popping off. Everybody's happy. And then fucking, and then she's like against Momokogo. And then she's like, please leave. And then she just dips. And it's just, oh man, it was a really well done like kind of comedy segment. It's I like Saki. This high speed
Oh
belt
no.
could be right now. Okay, I know. But before Mesa inevitably takes it, it could be a great comedy belt. Just do comedy matches with it. That's all I have to
Okay.
say. Like,
It's a
okay,
Stalker
okay.
Ichikawa belt,
Um,
basically. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
Hey, respect the Wargate,
Maybe.
okay? Yeah, I just want to say that I've been Maysara in that situation. I have been told that I was gonna get something and then get teased and said no, actually I'm gonna choose them instead.
I've
In
done.
the end,
I have both done that and it
Wow.
has been done to me
That's
before.
crazy.
It's not.
yeah,
It's not a fun situation to be in.
it's only been done to me, so
Uh,
I'm not rude enough
Hmm.
to do it to someone.
damn. I should go. Okay. My
Oh,
bad. My bad.
they scrapping. They scrapping. All
Let's move
right.
on to the good match.
Woo.
Next match
Yeah.
was Rose Gold versus Start. It was Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa defending and unsuccessfully.
Did you
Yes,
just
he
call them
did.
Start?
I called them Start.
Is
No.
that their name?
They used to be. That wasn't it?
No, it's Restart.
No, but
If you're
that's because Start was the tag team, and then Restart was the new trio.
I don't know.
what?
I question.
Am I crazy?
No,
That's where
Restart
Restart came from.
was an old thing, like super old.
I thought that it was Start, and then
No, it was like
Restart
an
was
old
like
group
the
with those
recreation
4.
of Start.
There were like 4 of them in it. I can't remember who the 4th one was. It might have been
Man,
Hiromi. But yeah, there was 4 of them. And they were Restart. Or maybe the group was Start, and then it was Restart, but either way, it would be the group, not the team.
okay, well,
Either way. This
in that case, I'm cool. Like, I don't think that's that wrong. Jesus. Okay.
Alright.
Next match
Okay.
was Start defeating Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa in 15 minutes and 24 seconds. Natsupoi defeated Mariah May with the Fairy Strain to win the championships.
Wow. Pour
Unfortunate.
one out.
Yeah. I'm actually really
No,
sad the
no,
Rose
this
Gold
was awesome.
dropped.
It was.
No, I
but
thought this was a great
that
match,
doesn't
but I'm really
matter.
sad that Rose Gold lost the belts.
I'm upset. I
No, Poi and Anu is great as a team.
You know what's funny is this is the second consecutive hey, we're sorry about that tag title reign, because Mina and Mariah got them because Mina obviously had to drop the white belt, and so Anu and Poi got them because Restart had to drop the trios belts. So this is the second. This is
This
the
is the third.
second.
No, this
Are you-
is the
you-
third because Mariah won
Oh
the
shit!
tag belts
Yeah,
because she couldn't win the
three in
singles
a row,
belt.
3 times in a
Yep.
row. These tag belts have been a hey, sorry about that run. That's crazy. But yeah, this is a great match. I wasn't.
If Utami doesn't win the 5-star, her and Sai are definitely winning the tag belts, and it's gonna be like, hey, sorry you guys couldn't, sorry you guys couldn't do much.
Um, I wasn't intended on watching this show live, and then I woke up at like 8:15, and I checked Twitter, and I saw they had posted the graphic for this match, and I was like, this is divine intervention. The universe wanted me to watch this match live, so I caught like the second half of it live, and I was like, holy shit, this is like the greatest tag match of the year. Because like I only saw the part where they were all going nuts and doing neck bumps. And then when I
Yeah.
watched the full thing, I was like, okay, that's a bit much. Yeah, once this all got going, it was crazy. Like it was just neck bump central. Like Mariah May had one match with Julia and has just been like, all right, that's it. Your necks are mine, and my neck is also gone. So yeah, a lot of crazy shit down the finishing stretch. Although the build up to it was kind of mediocre. Like it was just the standard like singles pairings that they do to fill time in a lot of these matches. Which I think looked
Yeah.
worse because the finishing stretch was so awesome. But I mean, like the singles stretches were fine. They just weren't as great as the closer, which was awesome.
I thought Anu was great in the single stuff early on.
Well, she's great in everything.
They left
I
in
don't know.
Natsupoi. Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
But they left in Natsupoi later on, so I was a little bit like, oh, I guess that's all I get to see of Anu. That sucks, but she did great early on. Mariah May and Anu stay being a little gay for each other, which is cool with me. But you know, they started the match like caressing each other's faces, and I was like, okay, that's how we run here. That's okay. I'm rocking with it. And then it just went fucking insane from there. The lightning spirals from Rose Gold have gotten better, so they listened to me. Shouts out Mariah May. Thank you for listening, even though I don't think you do. But no, like I was legit the one thing I was like, okay, this is a great tag team. Please do a better lightning spiral because it looks kind of shit. And they got it here. So
And they lost.
it's a shame this is their last tag title match. Yeah, but that was cool. Mariah also hit a crazy looking TKO. That I think the Twitter account called it like the Mariah Cutter or something. It's like I was called it TKO. And yeah, I thought this was a really really good match. Sondre, how did you feel? Because I feel like I liked it.
Yeah. I am so high on Natsupoi and Anu as a team.
That's fair.
Like I like Mariah May and Mina. They like Rose Gold was really fun when they won the titles. I like anything is better than New Eras, to be honest. So
Yeah.
but Natsupoi and Anu in this match just sold me so much of why they should be the champions, and I was so happy when they won because the whole match I was just vibing with all the stuff they were doing, them getting beaten up and getting dropped on their heads like multiple times. And just that instantly makes me care more about someone and want them to win. And then when they win, I just mark out. And yeah, that was basically this match for me. Ariga Poi.
What is already got? No. That's the bit. I'm not asking. I get the jokes. No, I thought this was good. The main reason I'm upset, not upset. The main reason I'm just like, oh man, I wish Rose Gold would have kept it, is because I think there's more room for Anu and Poi to do a lot of things as singles, and for me, I would enjoy that more than seeing more room for Mina and Mariah May to do more things as singles.
Yeah, but
I think they just have such a. I think there's so much for Mina and Mariah May as a tag team, and I'm
yeah,
not as interested in them at this exact moment in time as like pursuing singles championships. Because I think this is kind of like elephant in the room. A lot of people are kind of like, oh, Mina has a real chance of winning the 5-star now because she isn't a tag team champion anymore, and Saya
yeah,
is out, so who's going to win it type of thing. And I don't really like that idea personally. And that's not me being a Mina disliker. It's more me just being like, I feel like there's just better ways to go than just go back to that Mina Tam match that I didn't
yeah.
really like. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing that again. So that's why I'm just like, oh, Mariah May and Mina, if they had kept the tag belts, there was so much more for them to do and just so much more great matches for them to have as a tag team. So it's kind of a shame that they dropped them. But I do agree that Anu and Poi are great
Yeah.
together.
You just need to remember that only one of these two tag teams were connected by a strap, and that was Point
See,
Anu.
you just
So
made it
that's why they
worse. Like
won.
this is what I mean.
Yeah, but that line, they connected by via that strap. We are connected by that strap. They said that. That makes them more of a team than Rose Gold.
If that match was a dog collar match, it would have been so much cooler. But that's besides the point. Alex, do you have any other statements about Rose Gold and start, and how the championship went and gone? Because I actually
I'm
called this
really,
last.
I'm really into the direction of since Alex is muted. I'm really into the direction of this tag titles right now. Like the next challengers looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll get into that. So basically, after the match, similar to the match prior, May Sarah once again came running out to the ring, but this time she went over to the commentary desk and grabbed Suzu and dragged her into the ring.
No,
So
no, we heard Suzu take off her
yeah,
headset.
yeah, no, it was live on commentary.
Yeah,
Um, It was very funny because Mace is like you could see her in the background running, scurrying over to Suzu, and she's like, "Oh, okay, okay, I'm doing this now. Okay, bye." And she she took off the headset and she ran to the ring, and the challenge was laid down for Mace Sarah and Suzu, who had won the gauntlet earlier in the night. So they are now the first challengers for Anu and Poi, which is unfortunate because I kind of wish they could win the tag belts personally. That would be super fun since I don't really see. I mean, Mesa is going to win the high speed belt eventually, but like I kind of wish they could have won the tag belts together. But that's seemingly not in the cards because it is a
I
first
mean,
defense.
if they work as a team, like if this match delivers, which I have a good feeling that they could deliver
Yeah,
really strongly, but I think I mean they can always go back to Suzu and May challenging again. Like
yeah,
it's
totally.
not so just challenging different
Well,
champions.
we'll also see how the DDM thing goes and how the Micah thing goes because I feel like that might be their lane. Is
Yeah,
the big, medium, small defeating Bari Bari Bombers for the artist belts. So, that makes sense why they would kind of have these two lose together. And then they can challenge for the trios belts, which is more their lane, I guess, later down the line. So, yeah, but no, I like this match a lot. I do feel a bit like about the new champions. Alex, I asked you before about like you heard me. How do you feel about the title change? How do you feel about the match? Just give me a little bit more of your thoughts on the situation. How do you feel about the new challengers as well?
I mean, Suzu and May make sense. They've been around and they're a team and they won earlier in the show. As a V1, they're fine. May Sarah can take the pin. Yeah, Anu and Poi. I mean, I like them both, so yeah, give them the belts. But it, I don't know. It definitely is a bit sudden, and it just continues the weirdness of the tag division. In that, I know the division has never been settled, but I mean, it was at its best when there was a focus with 7 Up on top, and we really haven't got that since the New Eras took
Yeah.
the belts. So I would like these belts to stop being a apology tour and start seeing them have more of a direction. And I'm not sure Arno and Poi will give that. Maybe they will. We'll have to wait and see.
They used to do that with B a lot. where it's like, oh, well, B is like the international person, and she goes on New Japan, so we're just gonna give her a belt just because we can't give her the top belt, but she needs something to look cool. Um, Obviously, these
Yeah.
wrestlers are more deserving than B was at that point. Like, I'm not upset that Otto is champion like I was that B randomly got the tag belts or whatever with Konami, but like it is one of those things where it's like, oh, you just kind of sacrifice your titles just to like kind of like, oh well, you're not going to win a singles belt right now, so just have this for a couple days. And it's like, well, just can we do something? But it's besides the point. I think we can move on because there is still
Yeah.
plenty
Yeah.
to talk about. Next match was Julia defending the New Japan Strong Championship, Women's Championship, that is, for the first time against you successfully. She defeated her with Bianca, the submission hold in 19 minutes. Man,
19 minutes.
why
God.
why were we here? Like it was so upsetting because it's like, again, this match, not even, they just didn't know what it wanted to be. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you is a judoka. Like, she's a world class judoka. She was a world class judoka, I should say. And Julia can do submissions sometimes, but if they were going to do that, they should have like committed to it and made it like a struggle. Instead, they just kind of like relied on that and they just kind of leaned on that for so long, and it felt so meaningless. And then eventually they got like a minute of just like, oh, this is fun, like they're actually doing stuff, and then they just went back, and then the match ended. And I was like, bro, this is such a waste of both women's talents. I think Julia, I said this last week that it could bomb, and I think it did. I was kind of like, oh yeah, Julia Yu is a match that sounds super fun on paper, but it's also a match that Julia could find herself lost in. And that's kind of how I felt
Yeah,
going into this.
you were right.
And she totally found herself lost in this match. It was really unfortunate. The and the power advantage didn't even like mean much. Like, at one point, she just did a superplex off the top rope, and it was just nothing. And I was like, that should be like your biggest spot of the match. Like, what are we doing? I don't understand. Um, Sondre, I'll pass it to you. Just tell me how you felt about this match overall.
Yeah. My feelings on the Mina and Julia match, copy paste them and put them on this match because it's the same for me. I I don't know. It, it's weird because like both of these two wrestlers are great, and I expect to be into this, but and they were doing like big stuff, but none of it was connecting with me at all. Like, I I was speculating, like in Discord and whatever, that maybe it's just because it's not, and it doesn't have any story behind it. It just was a randomly put together match. And I was like, I guess that is why, but I don't know.
I
There
feel like
was,
I feel like the work was just not what the match needed. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
'cause they could have built a story
like
here, but they just
the,
didn't.
I don't understand why they felt the need to go to an epic 19-minute match. Like that's neither of these two strong suit, having like epics. Like Julia, sure, but only when she has like someone that can work an epic with her, kind of, or like a story that surrounds that warrants it to be an epic. This random put together match did not warrant a 19 minutes epic like they tried to do.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Alex, how about you?
It's bad. Julia is good at a very specific subset of things, and she did almost none of them here. And you is also very good at a
Yeah,
specific.
no, there was no
No,
CP
none
in
at
this
all.
match.
Like, these are two hard hitters. Just hit each other. Throw your chops, do your headbutts, knee her in the face. Do all the stuff you can do, instead of trying to have a Queen of JTO title match where there's fucking points and stuff. Like, just wrestle your match. And Julia can tend to not do that sometimes when she's feeling it, and I'm just like, listen, girly, stick to your lane. And I would say the same to you, because I've seen you have some bad matches in the past, and I've seen her have some great matches, and the great ones are usually where she sticks to what she can do. But yeah, they were a bit too ambitious here, and it just didn't work at all, really.
Yeah, and I also called it last week as like, oh, the big spot is going to be Julia getting her up for the Northern Lights, and instead she submitted
Yeah.
her. Which why? Like
Yeah.
like you protect you for so long, and then you have her submit. Never
Yeah.
give up. Like, how does that help anybody? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It was just a
I
disappointment overall.
I do think that this match could have worked so much better if it was just a 11-minute tournament match.
Like, yeah, no,
I
I get you. I,
like if they would have just like trimmed it down, made it more intense, it could have been.
this also very much frustrates me because it's like one of the only singles matches in Stardom, and it's like I think it is maybe her first, maybe like couple. Uh, it's really frustrating because it's like she could have such a great singles title match, and this just wasn't. Um, and it's going to like kind of
Yeah.
like affect people's perspective of her because it's like if they had ran that Saya U match that they kind of alluded to when you just beat her in the tournament in the tag tournament last year, if they had ran that. Like that would have been absurd. I'm firmly in the belief of that because that would have been just David versus Goliath classic. It would have been so good. But it's a shame that this is like her only real singles opportunity to show out in Stardom thus far. I hope she gets another one, and I hope it's not against Julia. But yeah, after the match, Diana Perazzo and Giselle Shaw showed up on the screen and officially challenged Julia for Multiverse United 2, officially confirming Julia's first appearance in America.
Hell yeah.
That was the big thing. Is Julia?
We are deep.
I'm finally going.
We are deep enough into the episode where I can say that when I saw Diana Perazzo on my screen and the Impact logo behind her, I took off my headset and I walked up to make some food.
That's
Oh, that's
horrendous.
crazy. That's
Joshi
crazy.
gatekeeper out here. Disgusting.
Yeah,
Um,
they come out when
yeah,
you least
I
expect
mean,
them.
this was good because I got
Yeah.
to talk smack about AEW fans again. I was like, hey, all the Joshi fans I know are really
It's
happy
always
with this.
fun.
Well, I thought we were gatekeeping
It's always fun.
freaks. What happened to the gatekeeping freaks? Because most people are just like, hell yeah, Julia in America. So, you know, not much gatekeeping
I
here.
mean,
I don't know. Maybe it
I
just doesn't exist.
it's it's not that I don't like Diana Perazzo because I have been entertained by her before, but it's just I don't care about Impact. It's like
You
a
know what? That is
non-canon
valid.
promotion for me
That
as
is valid.
a wrestling fan. As a wrestling fan, it's just a non-canon
Impact is only
promotion. It's
useful.
like
Impact
feel that.
only exists
zero
when
one.
I can use it to dunk on people. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. It's like the NWA.
Yeah,
It's like that. That's not a real thing. You know.
yeah.
No,
And
agreed.
like I know I probably won't watch this because I'm not a fan of their how they produce stuff and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the four way is very iffy.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
don't
if I'll
know.
watch it. I'd have watched Julia versus Diana, but I don't know if I'll watch a multi-woman match.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you.
Um,
Don't worry.
Uh,
Okay, last two matches to properly review. Next one is Mayu Iwatani successfully defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Utami Hayashishita in some amount of time. What is that? 21 minutes with the Dragon's Lair, which is the best Poison Rana ever that she pulled out last year. Hasn't really
yeah.
used much since then. I checked the translated name. It sounds
Dragon's
like that's the
Ray,
name for it.
maybe
It's the
Dragon's
Dragon's
Ray.
Lair, which is kind
That's
of
what I get.
interesting. I looked it up. I looked up the like
Yeah.
katakana or the kanji or whatever. I think it's katakana. And it said it's Dragon's Lair. So that's why I'm going with. I don't know. Cool move. Cool. That was a cool finish. This match deeply concerning. Because you look at this and you compare it to last year's Mayu versus Utami match, and I'm just like, oh
Dude,
fuck, what are we
Utami
doing?
puts
We're
on
going
the
backwards. We can't
extensions
be
and
doing
it
this.
like zaps something. I don't get it. Because
It's
she just
bizarre.
wrestled this completely like dry toast style with none of her positives accentuated. Like if this wasn't for Mayu being Mayu, like what was this match? Like what was worth even watching with this match? It would have just been the same old Utami that we got sick of during her red belt run, you know? So
Yeah, you guys
like
did. I didn't really get sick of it.
what?
yeah, kind of a bit extreme to call
Dylan and I were
get
definitely
sick of
getting
her.
sick of
That's
her. I don't know,
kind of
Dylan. You were
big.
ready to.
I mean, I was
You were
excited
ready
for
to
her to
call it that
lose it,
day. I don't know.
but
You
I
were
wasn't
like,
like
I don't want to see this. But you know what I mean. Anyway,
that was because of mom.
it was
That's not
just
the
a
point.
style that isn't as fun as what we know she can do. So
Yeah,
it's not great when you
especially
see
now.
her progress in some ways and stop wrestling to her positives, which seems to be a theme of this specific pay per view. A lot of people just going, "Hey, I'm good at this. Let me not do it." So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was an experiment, I guess, from some people.
See how I feel about this match. Like while I agree that their match last year was better, but neither of those two matches reached the highs of 2020 match for me. But the 2020 match I really loved.
The Sendai pit. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm a big Utami fan and her winning.
No,
was big.
I feel you. I feel you.
But yeah, last year we saw what they could do. That's like that's what I want them to kind of be now that when they face each other, because like still in 2020 it was still kind of it was still we were still figuring out Utami, if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Like we
she was still trying to
and
figure out
last year,
Utami.
yeah, last year it was boy Utami doing this, and now she's back to like the 2021 Utami, which I
Euro
loved.
brand.
I gave her rest of the year that year. Yeah, I mean,
No,
she
and that's the interesting thing is
what?
I also like 2021 Utami for what it is. Like
Yeah,
I didn't hate this match. I didn't think it was like bad. I don't think that her wrestling that style is inherently bad by any means. It's
yeah,
just that I was like, oh, like you've learned so much since then, especially in terms of just like your presentation and just like your I said it earlier, but just the urgency and the passion you have in ring, that it feels like you kind of like when you try to do that big match Utami style, it feels like she kind of loses some of
but
those like intricacies that she's learned in the time since.
yeah, yeah. I definitely agree there. But my greater point
Mm.
here is that I do see this as kind of a part one to a two-part series they will do this year. Um, I feel like they will run this back
This year, there's only
this
4 months
year,
left.
and
I mean,
but
Alex, they could
as
run.
a potential final
What? No,
Ooh,
of the tournament.
not a. That
That is my take on it.
I could see it. No,
I,
the way I was thinking you were going was Utami wins the tournament and then challenges
oh god.
Mayu so that it leaves Tam open to beat whoever challenges her or whatever.
they could also do that. I wouldn't be a fan of that, but it kind of felt like they were still holding back from what they still
Yeah,
can do.
and I
And
think that's an interesting point because uh I've been writing an article about Mayu that I will now continue since Utami lost so blatantly. Um, that it's like Mayu kind of holds this IWGP belt like it's like the claim to her acedom, right? And that's why Utami wants it so bad, is because it's like, and that's why Mayu made that little snide comment that it's like, oh, maybe in like 2 or 3 years you'll get to this, but not for a while. It feels like that's like the personification, the human, not the human form, the physical form of like Mayu being the god of Stardom. Uh, and that's how Mayu kind of presents it. That's why nobody fucking challenges for it because it's like nobody can challenge her for it. She's Mayu except for Utami. And Utami just got fucking beat like pretty blatantly. Like that's an
yeah,
interesting thing about
but
this 21
and
minute match
by
is that she got pretty much dog walked. Like she almost won a couple times, but you never really felt like Utami was like closing in on it. It always felt like Mayu was just like a second away from winning. Um,
yeah,
and I think that's interesting.
and
But go on.
and her losing to the less established finisher
Mm.
felt very, very much like, oh, I didn't even beat you with like the two-step or the moonsault because I don't care about that.
I do think that
Like
I do think Dragon's Lair is probably more protected than Moonsault nowadays, but the
yeah,
lack of the two-step is interesting. I agree.
yeah. And yeah, it just felt like they are gonna run this back later this year, and since I am strongly behind Utami winning the tournament, I feel like that is the final. But I mean, that might just be the fan brain in me.
Mhm.
But I if I'm right, I will be really happy, and I will not brag about it at all.
Oh, you should brag about
I promise.
it. You
Yeah,
always gotta brag
you didn't hear the irony, man.
about it.
Come on.
Yeah, at certain points, Mayu reminded me that her body is made of rubber because Utami did just like drop her on her neck like 7 times in a row, and it was just nothing. Um, and yeah, like I said, the finish was cool. There were some cool parts of this match. Don't get me wrong, but it definitely felt like Utami just didn't reach Utami level. Like she didn't reach the level that you wanted from her in a Mayu match. Alex, you can go into it a little bit if you want. I don't know how much you have to say
I
about this
mean, it
match.
is 20-8. I don't have anything to say about this match. I just want to finish because I'm not. If this goes like 2.5 hours, I'm not editing it. I'm sorry. This is it. It's not. It's getting thrown out as a raw audio file. Yeah, I'll do it.
That's
I'll
crazy.
fucking do it too.
Okay, I'll fast forward. I'm aware. Okay, yeah, it was fine. Main event of the evening was Tam Nakano defeating Megan Bayne in 15 minutes 20 seconds with the Tiger Suplex. This is the only match on the fucking show that knew what it wanted to be and was exactly that. So nothing but
Yeah.
praise to Tam Nakano. I said it last week. I said it
Whoa.
last week that it's like this could be good. Don't get me wrong. Like because I wanted to avoid apologizing to Tam for shitting on her. But I will apologize anyway. I expected this to be like quite mediocre, but I think they both did exactly as this was as good of a match as they can do with the story and with their skill levels, and with what I could kind of perceive as them having chemistry. So I was really happy with this. I will apologize, Tam. You did good. You did good, sir.
Megan
Shouts out to
Bayne
Tam.
is special.
Yeah, this is really good.
I'm sorry. This
Mm.
this was the first ever match I've seen of Megan Bayne. But see, it was a good plan. It was a good plan because when she made her debut, I wasn't that impressed because I was really heartbroken by
Yeah.
the Maiutani injury, and I didn't really care. And so I said to myself, I'm not going to watch any of the preview tags. I just want to see her debut, singles debut, and have that be my first impression of her. I I think I made the right decision because I was thoroughly entertained by Megan Bayne in this match. I was so impressed by her, how great she was in the ring, not only doing the character stuff. Very
See,
surprising
I still think
for me.
there's a certain lack in the character stuff. It still feels very like she just do a little bit more of anything and I will be interested, but it feels like she's still kind of like a statue, which is in part the point, but also I just think it's not that interesting. But the actual work here was really well
Yeah,
done. I think Alex was right that it's like Tam still has it when she's like that underdog and just has no chance of winning and then still finds a way to win. Like there is still something there to that. Um, it just depends on who she's against. I was really, really good. And yeah, for a split second, I thought Rossi was about to do something real stupid because there was one. I think she hit the F5 and Tam just looked like she was out. And I was just
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
better not fucking do that, old man. Like we can't. Like I don't know how I'm like
What
'cause again
a
I'm cool with Megan, but I'm just like I don't think I could defend you anymore if you do something like that.
I would
Yeah,
I would
no,
not
that's
be
what I
on
mean. Is
this
that like
podcast if Conrad lost
I don't know
here.
if I could like continue, like just because it's like I can't be doing that right now. I can't be dealing with another, you know, another reign like that. Let's just say, but
Yeah,
yeah, no, I thought this match was like the best version of this match. You know, it was the best
yeah.
version it could be, and I was very happy with that. Alex, I'm sure you have, and I told you so in there. Just go ahead.
Oh, I was I am all over it. So many. I said last week, most hype 3.5 star match ever.
Yeah,
It was
it was probably
damn
like
right.
375. Yeah,
Um,
you're right.
I I very much was correct. I said Megan Bain is her. I don't know how you can look at that entrance and not see her as anything other than her. Just massive star vibes off of her. And yeah, I said as soon as this match was announced, it is Pro Wrestling 101, and it was perfect for what it was. I don't think you can do this again. I think is my only thing. Because you can't do the F5 thing
Yeah.
again because the F5 hadn't been kicked out of up until now, which was part of the story, and that's again Pro Wrestling 101. So you obviously won't get that near fall again. You can only have one first loss for
I
Megan
do
Bain.
wonder where they go with
So
the
like
sus
this was
lady from here, but go on.
yeah. So I think this was just the perfect culmination of what they were trying to do. Yeah, Tam as the baby face that the crowd was behind was really well done. The crowd was super into the match by the end. She bumped like crazy for Megan Bain. Like she put in the work to really make this match click. And yeah, I think saying a match is perfect. A lot of people will go, oh, and then it's like 5 stars, and it's like no, star ratings are dumb
It's
because this was
different.
Yeah.
perfect. But
Like I
it's
called
different.
Suzu
It's not
Shuri a
5 star.
perfect match, but I don't think that's like a 5-star match. You know what I mean?
It-
Like that's just a perfectly done
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
yeah, like star ratings, it doesn't work. So I thought this was the best kind of match it could have been, but I definitely don't think you can do it again because there's only so many. You can only have one first time kicking out of the big finisher. You only have one first time beating Megan Bain. Um, I will say I was disappointed with Bain at the end because Tam sold like death for her, and as soon as Megan lost, she like stood up and was kicking the rope, and I was like, listen, I know on the indies you do that, like everybody does that, it's always 50-50, but you just lost the world
Oh
champion,
yeah,
like
she
sell it
she
for
Austin
a
Aries that
second.
shit.
So
Oh man, that was something.
yeah, so I hope that's something that she like learns because yeah, you don't
I
you it
I
just kind of
hope
looks bad.
I hope that was more of a she got told to do that to still look like a monster, or instead of her
I
just
I
doing
just
that.
think that's how she was. I just think that's how she's conditioned
Oh
because
man,
every time I see the US Indies, people like nobody ever gets over on the
yeah,
US Indies. It's always, oh, they were really good in defeat. Let's clap them. And it's like, no, they lost. Like people win and lose. But she's so used to a scene where everybody's even, so that she's probably just accustomed to being told, okay, even if you lose, just get up. Don't sell
yeah.
it. So I think that's something that if she wants to work on, maybe that'd be a thing because I was a bit disappointed in her. I was like, listen, Tam did the work for you. The least you could have done is lay down for a few seconds after getting dropped on your head. But yeah, that was my only like minor complaint. Otherwise, I thought they did great in every way. The only thing I'm gonna take over from Dylan for a second. I wonder what you do with
Yeah.
Bane from here because you've done thing. Like the monster has lost. So I wonder what you do with her now because unless she shows more, um, she's gonna start spinning her wheels. It's gonna be Jade Cargill levels of okay, get to the point. Um, so I do wonder kind of what Bane does if she doesn't evolve. And it doesn't seem like she's gonna evolve based on the Corkin and what I've kind of
She might
seen.
just dip
Um,
like in the next month.
yeah, maybe. And if she does, that's fine. But I definitely think they're in a weird spot with her where unless she like goes for the tag belts with somebody who can lose, unless she goes for the trios belts, like what does she actually do unless she herself evolves and starts doing
I
more?
mean, we've mentioned it before.
Because yeah, you've kind of done it.
Tag league is kind of bizarre. There's like there's a lot of like like they could run her and Mesera's tag league team, but then that leaves Suzu and Micah together, and then that leaves somebody in DDM out. You know what I mean? Like there's so much. Two people is always hard to deal with. But yeah, sorry for. Go ahead.
That's all right. I was done.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's
No,
interesting
I
kind of
totally agree.
where Bane goes from here unless she evolves as a wrestler. But I mean, obviously she doesn't have to. What she does works. But I don't know if it'll work in Stardom for much longer. Unless she gets a direction.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But for now, that match was quite good. Tam proved me wrong. I'll give her that for one time. I'll give that to her one time. I'm sure the Mayu match is going to be great when we see it, but I'll give it to her one time. This weekend, I'll give it to her. Speaking of the Mayu match, let's move on to the Cork and Hall show from August 15th. Is the 5-star Cork and Hall show from Cork and Hall. 1,519 spectators, the highest attendance in Cork and Hall from any company all year. Azumi did that
It's
shit.
absurd.
Azumi did that shit.
Oh
I don't
god.
care. I don't care. That's me. That's her. That's her. That's not me. That's her. Shouts out. Shouts out to Azumi closing the biggest Corkin show of the year thus far. Super happy for her. But yeah, let's just get into the show. We can't really review it, but we can get into some of the results. Saya Ida, Hanan, and Koguma defeated Miyu Amasaki, Lady C, and Hina. Saya Ida actually pinned Hina with the Jungle Buster, a variation of it. I don't know exactly
Holy
what
shit.
move it was, but she might do. I think she might do like a spin out. Like I remember she used it once, but she's some variation of that. Um, I forget what she calls it, but yeah. And then the next match, Mirai and Sakikashima defeated Yuna Mizumori and Natsupoi in 4 minutes when Mirai defeated Yuna
Wow.
Mizumori. Still after the match, for some reason, Natsupoi was like, hey, I think I should get your belt. And Mirai's like, homie, I just beat y'all in fucking no time. But, that's how it is. Next match was Megan Bain and Nai Takahashi, Mei Sarah, and Suzu Suzuki defeating Oedo Tai team of Ruaka, Natsuko Tora, Fukigen Death, and Starlight Kid. I don't know who she pinned, but Megan Bain did win with the F5. I could probably find that in like 5 seconds. She pinned Ruaka. How unfortunate. She can't even beat the clown.
Poor Rocco.
Poor Ruaka. That was like the day before her birthday. And she had to
She's
lose
literally
over
just
the
back.
clown.
Like this is her first match
Yeah.
back in ages.
There's a clown on her team, and she still did. That's a shame.
Yeah.
But from there is all 5-star matches, which we will kind of go into next week if any of them are
Wow,
good.
5 stars? That's crazy.
Yeah, they're all Dave Meltzer certified. But no, they're all 5-star Grand Prix block matches. Like I said, if any of them are like particularly good, we will probably go into them next week. But you know,
I
just
strongly
getting
Promises,
them
believe.
now.
I strongly believe that Utami Nasumi was good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm obviously gonna bring that up next week. Let's be real. But first match was Momo Watanabe shockingly getting the win over Sayori Anu with the Peach Sunrise, not even the Peach Thunder. She beat her with her old finish. That's interesting in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So that makes Momo at 6. I think that's probably one of the higher on the blue side of things. She probably has more points than most of the motherfuckers in there. Because yeah, I mean, yeah, so she's a pretty high point getter, undefeated in block competition thus far. Next up is Mariah May defeating Mina Shirakawa. So Mariah May moves to 4 points. Mina gets to 6, or stays at 6, I should say. Um, that's something that Alex predicted last week, was that Mariah May was going to get one over on her leader, and she did. She got with the happily ever after in 11 minutes. Like I said, could be a really good match. We will talk about it a little bit next week if it is. Next up is Shuri moving to 5 points with the White Tiger submission hold on Hazuki, who remains at 0. That match was 11 minutes and 39 seconds. Shuri keeping her under keeping her winning record against literally everybody in the company. So that's cool. And Hazuki staying at 0 points. She's the only wrestler in this entire tournament that is still active. So outside of Saya Kamitani to have 0 points. So we'll see if she can kind of make a rally from here. Um, Next up, no surprise here, Tam Nakano and Maiutani drew 15 minutes. Tam Nakano still cannot defeat Maiutani if it could, just to save her life at this point. And Mayu noted that Tam has gotten better, but she still is not Mayu Iwatani. Who would have thought? And then the main event of the evening saw Azumi join Utami Hayashishita at 4 points when she won with the Canadian Destroyer to the Azumi Zushi. Compliments to the chef as always in 10 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm super excited to see that match. Azumi mentioned that her 10th anniversary is coming up in a month, or in 2 months, I should say, and that is of intrigue. She also mentioned that since Kano says that she is the best Joshi wrestler, she must become the best Joshi wrestler and prove that by winning the 5-star Grand Prix. Those are all things she said in the post-match comments. So I'm happy for Azumi. She finally got a win over Utami. I don't think she's ever beaten Utami actually in a singles match. I might be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that is the case. So from those results, how do we feel about the shakeup or the lineup in the 5-star? Anything of interest to you guys? I just want to take a breath, please. So say something.
No, I can't wait to watch the show. I strongly believe that Utami and Azumi was a great main event, and I love that they got the main event.
Oh, me
That
too.
so cool. And yeah, please upload it soon. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so I did check. That was the first time Azumi has ever beaten Utami. This is their third match, and this is her first win of the 3. So yeah, shout out to Azumi. Compliments to the chef. Big weekend for her, and like I said, a big couple months for her because she's about to hit her 10th anniversary, which is a pretty fucking big deal, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
that's that on the review section. I believe it's time to now preview some stuff.
Oh
Um,
shit, we got to do that also. Yeah.
Yes, we do gotta do that also. Alex, are you still alive? Are you still here? No, he is not. He's muted. That's okay. That's okay. I got this. It don't matter. First show to preview is New Blood 10, 11. It's New Blood 10. And this is going to be in, where's it going to be? It's going to be in Shinagawa, the Grand Hall in Tokyo. I don't know if this is where they usually run it. I feel like it's not, but I'm not the attendance guy. If you guys want to hear that, just text Alex. I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Um, the first match is the match I'm probably most excited for. Is Lady C versus Kohaku of Pro Wrestling Wave. It is tall versus small, and that is going to be fucking insane. I'm actually super excited for that. That's gonna be
Yeah.
awesome. Um,
Kohaku. Let's
yeah,
go.
Kohaku's so good, guys. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not joking. She is absurdly good. So I'm super excited for that. Next match is Suzu Suzuki and Mei Sarah taking on Hanan and Hina, the sisters, the two babyface sisters of the Hanan Shamai, as they used to be called, the Minami Shamai, if you will. Yeah, that's an interesting match. That'll probably be fun. Next match is a 6-person tag team match. Is Ami Sore and Nanami of God's Eye, along with Moran, Moran,
Yeah.
whatever, taking on Hanako, Kazuna Tanaka, and Hanoka, not Hanako,
Yeah.
Hanako and Hanoka. Okay,
The Wave Rookies.
yeah, the Wave Rookies are teaming with Hanako, and Amisore is teaming with the Diana girlies. So that'll be fun to see some non-Stardom wrestlers. Kazuna's really good, and
Yeah,
Marana's
Kazuna is
really good.
really
Like
good.
most of these, honestly, most of these wrestlers kind of outwork Amisore on a good day. So we'll see how this kind of goes. I'm excited for this match. That'll be kind of interesting. Next up is the Cosmic Angels assessment match, which it's a travesty that Unagi is not in it, but here we are. Who just left? Did Alex leave? Yeah,
Yeah, let's go.
Alex left. It's okay. Next match is Yuna Mizumori taking on Natsupoi. Yuna Mizumori is attempting to join Cosmic Angels proper since she is just a rookie of the tribe as of now. You okay,
Wait,
bud?
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
isn't Universe World part of Cosmic Angels?
no.
What the hell?
No.
So you know
She's
what's
like
funny?
she's an assistant.
Yeah,
Oh
she's
my
she's like
god.
a rookie beneath Cosmic Angels. The only group that is like, no, fuck you, you have to work for this. Crazy, like kind of shitty, crazy. It's funny because me and Doc, when we worked on the big roster chart, we made it a point to like have an outline around the actual Cosmic Angels and have Yuna outside of it, but still in the like bubble because that's where she is. She's technically not in it, but she is kind of in it, But she's gonna fight to get into it. She's not beating Natsupoi, but she's going to try to get into it through this match.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then the next match is the Miyamasaki extra of the 5-match series. It is
Yeah,
her
it's
against.
it's not over.
It's not over until she says it's over. This is
it's
Kevin's
the
world.
five it's,
Living in it.
it's the 5-match series that will never end.
5-match series part 7 somehow, I guess. 'Cause she had one before it. Like she had that one singles match that wasn't technically a part of the 5-match.
Her
Ah,
debut?
no, not the debut. It was like she had
I'm
a
pretty
match
sure it was
against.
the debut.
What was her? Oh, the Utami match. It doesn't matter.
That was
But
the
it feels
debut.
like, yeah, okay. I got it. Jesus.
I'm
Miyamasaki
just
versus
saying,
Seriano in the
yeah.
17th match of the 5-match series. Anu was killing her.
Kevin Death.
Let's see how
Kevin
hard she
Death.
kills Kevin. That's the interesting.
You've heard of Twink Death, see Kevin Death. this over.
Poor Kevin. Kevin's always just around. She'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun match. Next match. This is what I'm talking about. It's the Nai Takahashi. It's Passion Injection match. Nai Takahashi against Saya Ida. This is gonna be a huge match for Ida. I feel like they just are gonna mesh like they should. I feel like their styles are just gonna be super cool together. And it's gonna be super fun. Ida doesn't have a chance in the world of winning considering
No.
Kid lost last time. So that's unfortunate. But shouts out. This will be a fun match. And then the main event of the show is Rina defending the future of Stardom Championship against Waka Tsukiyama. This will be her second defense, I believe. First one, she defeated
Ooh.
Lady C. If Waka is going to win this belt, this is the time. If Waka's going to win any belt, this is the time. She could win the belt, but I have doubts about it. I don't feel like she is.
Yeah, she'd have to lose it like right away, I think. So
Yeah.
I don't foresee it.
She could pass it over to Hina. That'd be funny.
Yeah,
if
sure.
Rina and Hina didn't do a match, but Hina somehow won the belt. But yeah, that's the main event of that show. It's New Blood. I don't think it's gonna be live, which is bizarre.
No,
The fuck are we doing?
I know. I don't
but
get
yeah.
it.
That is New Blood. Next up is the pay-per-view. It's pay-per-view time, baby.
Hell yeah.
Let me translate
At
this.
speed.
It's mid 2023. It is on August 19th. It is in Oda Ward General Gymnasium. It is the Legend Showcase show.
And it is bombing. It
okay, I don't
is
care. I never had
bombing.
this crazy.
There's 2 sections sold out in the entire venue. It is crazy.
I
Yeah,
just want to say that Dragon Gate runs Toward the day after, and they will probably draw more.
Yes, this is true.
Do you think the Dragon Gate the stands will be like, see, we outdrew Stardom, and somebody will be have to like, yeah, you outdrew an 80-year-old woman who can't walk. But even then, knowing these legends on their fan bases, this will get a mad walk up, and it'll just like sell like crazy.
I hope so.
But yeah,
I
as of now,
I would be laughing so
we
much.
need to prove
so
that
would I.
Shinobu Kandori is still a draw. We need to
Yeah.
prove it.
as of now
Please.
though, it is bombing. This looks
The
like
Kandori fan base is dying. We must prove that she can still draw in the main event.
for the interest of fun. Over under, does this beat the Ice Ribbon show at Yokohama Budokan?
What was the wait? Did that happen yet, or is that happening?
Yeah, it was like the very first one. Hold on.
Last year?
So, because it only did like 500.
Oh yeah, it's definitely beating that.
Okay, so Ice Ribbon.
It's
Okay,
over
this is the
500.
second one. Wait, okay, hold on. Ice Ribbon Yokohama Budokan second. That did 800, but I think they did another one that was lower. Check.
I think over under 800 is a fair point marker, and I think that's definitely going to be over.
Yeah, I just know there was
there's-
another one. Okay, this is it. Is this it?
Oh, this
Yeah.
was
Okay, so
COVID numbers.
yeah, so Ice Ribbon's first show at the Yokohama Budokan in 2021 did 715. It was main evented by Tsukasa versus Hiroyo Matsumoto.
It's not a good ass match.
It was kind of because they wrestled just before it and then had another match. It was it was weird.
Oh, so it's that type of
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, over 700.
I think it goes over 700.
Fair enough.
I think they're probably shooting for like 900. I think that's probably like where they'd want to be.
I mean, it will be funny if they are like under 800, but
oh yeah, that would be concerning if it was under 800.
TJPW
we'll
run
see.
here like crazy. No, that was Out
Yeah,
Award.
They run Oda Ward all the time.
Oh, I'm checking the wrong venue.
Yeah.
I'm a dope.
Yes. Yeah, a little
Literally
bit.
checking
I know
the
that's
wrong
why I was
venue.
asking. That's why I was trying to figure out why you were talking about Yokohama.
Dude,
but,
I thought this is Yokohama Budokan. All right, you know what? I will take that L because yeah, I was like Ice Ribbon did like 500 at Out Award. Oh yeah, they did 518. So they're over 518.
TJPW did.
they have to get over 500.
TJPW did Summer Sun Princess like last month,
Yeah.
and that did 1,222.
I don't know if it gets over that. It definitely doesn't get over that. Let me be honest.
It beat
probably
Ganbare, Sekigahara 2 with
to be
600.
fair, that was a
will
good
beat
ass
that.
show.
They
That
will
was
beat
such
that.
a good
Okay.
show, but they'll
They
probably
will
beat it.
that.
All right. Just
Yeah,
a bit of
I would say
fun.
like they're definitely shooting for 1,000. Like
Yeah.
that feels like where they want to get.
There's like 300 tickets out or something. So
Which I mean is fine. Like I
Yeah.
mean I don't think that makes it like impossible. I think they're still
Yeah.
impossible.
Question: If they had somehow managed to convince a certain Manami Toyota to do this show,
That'd be
would
different.
it
That's coming out. That's
would
retirement.
would it be a sold out show?
Probably.
Sold out in Odaward? Probably, maybe. I
Toyota,
don't know if it'd be sold out.
Toyota was drawing
Odaward's pretty big.
crazy money
Yeah,
at the end of her run. Hold on.
Her
yeah,
coming
she was.
out of retirement would be huge.
Yeah, like you're
Yeah.
definitely getting AJW numbers. I don't know. Like
Yeah, that was what I was thinking also. I thought
To be fair, I mean, even if they only get 1,000, that'll be well over AJW numbers in like 2001.
that's true.
True.
But let's get into the show. Let's get into
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
First match is technically a legend versus. It's technically the only legend versus rookie singles match on the card. Is Hanako against Fukigen Death, the Clown of Oedo Tai. I wish they could have given her like Kaori. I think that would have been cool. Like if they just like added Kaori onto the show instead of Fukigen. But you know, it is what it is. Fukigen's definitely winning because Memento Mori, baby. Um, and the next match is Hanan, Rina, and Hina taking on Lady C, Waka Tsukiyama, and Yuna Mizumori.
This card is out of date, is it?
Maybe.
The schedule?
Yeah, I'm on the schedule.
Yeah, because I think Hanako and Fukigen is a 3-way now. It would have,
Oh, does that have Mayu in it?
I cannot
Or does that have
remember.
Saki
I
in it?
think they did
Where the fuck?
change.
Where do you have this? Where do you have this?
Oh wait, maybe it was a
Card
3-way
change.
and it changed to a singles because Koguma is in with Mayu.
Oh, then yeah, I
Okay,
think this
all
is
right,
up to
that's
date.
fine. I thought it was changed to a 3-way, but it was changed from a 3-way to a singles. So, all right.
That makes sense. Then yeah, the Minami Shimai against well, there's one Minami on the show. Never mind. And it's the wrong mi, it's the MI instead of MA, but whatever. That's a match, you know. The next match is a 6-woman tag team match. Is Mirai and Ami Sore of God's Eye and Saida of Stars taking on Micah, Suzu, and Mei Sarah. This actually sounds like it might be fun, depending on how New Eras it is versus how God's Eye it is. You know, you never really know with those two. It could be fun, but I feel like the big, medium, small trio definitely takes it over Ida, unfortunately. Literally the day after she gets some passion, she's gonna fucking fall.
Yeah, pity, but what can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next match. Ooh, interesting. Next match is Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May, Rose Gold of Club Venus, taking on Megan Bain and Tekla. This is a Rose Gold win.
What?
Unless they are running.
I think it's Bane.
Unless they're run. Oh wait, no, it's Megan
Yeah,
Bain. It's Megan Bain.
Bane.
They might run Megan Bain Tekla as like a team
It
from now.
could. I don't know. I think she's just bouncing around, but if there's ever a time,
It's possible, but
then
like I said earlier, there's like the tag league issue is like where does everybody
I think
go?
the tag league will open itself up
Not issue. It's not
later.
an issue. It's not an issue, but yeah, it's an interesting.
Yeah,
I'm kind of just looking for Megan Bay's teammate, so it
it
could
might
be
not even
Tekla
be
or it could
there.
be,
That's I don't know. I
yeah,
don't know when she's
that's also
staying.
possible.
Like no idea. So
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Somebody got on the boards and asked Sunny. I'm kidding. Next match is Maiutani and Koguma of Stars taking on Shiri and Sakikashima of God's Eye. This would have been a great preview tag for the championship match that happened last week. But yeah, I mean, somebody will win, somebody will lose. I feel like it's probably Shuri and Sakikashima takes the win.
Koguma's winning a lot lately, so they might just keep that going.
But that was in build up to high speed though.
Yeah, but they could be building something else. I don't know.
Mayu over Saki is also like Mayu over Saki or Koguma over Saki is
Yeah.
also very possible. Okay, next match is the first of the the big Legends matches. It is an 8-person tag team match. It is Utami, Azumi, Miyu Amasaki of Queen's Quest, along with Kyoko Inoue of Diana, taking on the Oedo Tai team of Natsuko Tora and Ruaka, BMI 200 or 2000, 200,
1,000.
2000, BMI 2000. The other team's 2000. The other team's 200.
100 kg, baby.
Yeah, exactly. But it's them and Dump Matsumoto and Zap of the Atrocious Alliance. That's what they're being billed as. It's crazy.
Zap,
The
like,
Atrocious Alliance and
Zap
Rock.
wasn't even in the Atrocious Alliance. So
No,
that's
no.
just slanderous.
But that's what they're calling it.
Crazy.
That's what they're calling it.
Crazy.
It's the Atrocious Alliance. Technically, the Evil Alliance is what.
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
translated is,
But
yeah, exactly. I don't fucking know.
This entire card is just pray that they don't do stupid stuff because dump
I
pins
think it would be
anybody
cool
other
if
than Kyoko or Kevin. It's like this is ridiculous. So
it would be dump over Kevin.
yeah,
There's no way
which
there's
is
anything else
still
that would
kind
happen.
of bad.
Otherwise it would
but
be like Utami. It'd be Utami over
Yeah.
Ruaka. Like that. Like those are the two options I see.
Dump just like hit somebody with
But
a
I think it would be really funny if Zap was just Hanako
would be so much
in
better
a Zap cosplay.
than the reality.
Yeah. I think that'd be so
Still
funny.
haven't specified which
but we'll see.
Zap, and
Yeah, and the picture is also like weird. Like that doesn't look like either of
No.
them. Like all of these pictures are like pretty modern. I guess the Momoe one
is
isn't,
is
but
it
Momoe
is it
has always
possible
looked
we're
like
all
that.
wrong and the modern Zap is like Crane U or some shit? Because probably follow Dump around.
They would be wrong then.
Ooh. Oh yeah, but
Stardom.
that makes sense. But I mean, she might be Zap, like as Crane U, but she's Zap.
I mean,
Under the
possible.
mask.
Was Crane you a Zap?
She wasn't, but she might be now. She might have become one.
Who fucking
Yeah, true.
cares, bro? Like it's
Yeah.
Zaps. But the next match is different. The next match is different. This one's a little spicy. Next match is Tam Nakano, Natsupoi, and Surayanu of Cosmic Angels taking on Hazuki, Shinobu Kandori, and Takako Inoue. Who the fuck loses? I mean, it's probably going to be Hazuki, but that still
Here's
feels
the
like
thing. If Kandori pins anybody, Rossi needs to get back on the politics game because there is no reason whatsoever Kandori should be winning. But I fear she's gonna pulverize Tam because Tam was talking so much smack in the press conference, and
bro. Tam threatened. Tam said that the loser has to do a dance, and I'm just like, there's no way
Yeah.
that
No,
former
no.
Diet member, former Diet conservative politician who kills people. I keep saying that she doesn't actually kill people. I hope everybody knows that, but she kind of does. It just feels like she does. Like Shinobu, like she can't like.
I know.
I don't know what we do here.
He said that if they beat Kandori, Kandori has to do the Kosen dance.
Yeah.
I will be so happy
Oh
if
yeah.
he beat that.
I
Here's the
will
thing.
puke.
Like
I will
Tam
puke.
should realistically win. She is their world champion, and she should beat Takako or Kandori, and Rossi should be like, the new generation is here. Fuck you guys, but I definitely worry
Yeah.
a little bit
But yeah,
It's lame.
it's
because Kandori does not seem like the type to take L's.
I
Kandori
am-
didn't take L's in her prime. There is no way she's taking them now. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Tam over Takako makes sense, but also Tam over Hazuki makes
kind
sense.
of.
This is like the only match on this show that is for me. Like
Oh, no,
I am
me
The
really
rest
hyped
is
for this
the
match.
rest is like nostalgia bait, which I'm here for, but it's not going to be good. I'm aware
Yeah.
enough to know that Jaguar Yokota teaming with Momoe and Nai is cool. It may not look good, so yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Jaguar in that bad a shape these days?
She's
I haven't
probably
seen him.
she's in better shape than like
Yeah.
every other legend on the show, other than Momoe. But I mean, Momoe goes without saying because she's
Yeah.
crazy.
He doesn't
Yeah.
do that much.
But yeah, I'm super
Oh, yeah.
excited for Cosmic Angels versus Kandori, Takako, and Hazuki. I could definitely see them. They've been fucking burying Hazuki just so that she can lose this match and then
Maybe.
kind of come back from it. That seems like an easy out there. And she can lose to Tam again. She already got pinned by her a couple days ago. So I could see that, but I think it would be so much funnier
Yes. Yeah.
It would be.
if Shinobu Kandori just packed and smoked Natsupoi. I think that would be so
Screw
based of
you.
her.
Screw you. No,
Not because I
it's
dislike
over.
Natsupoi, it's just because
over.
Shinobu Kandori
It's
is
over.
that fucking.
It's
She's
over.
the judo bastard. She's the what you gonna do?
It's my
what you
show
gonna do
now.
when the judo
It's my
bastard comes
show
for you?
now.
That's my question.
Leave.
Okay, go ahead.
Ah, shit. The main event is Nanae Takahashi, Momoe Nakanishi, and Jaguar Yokota of Diana. This is the first reunion of NanaMomo in like 20 years, and they are taking on Momo Watanabe, Starlight Kid, and Yu. Yu is officially representing 7 Up according to the Stardom website, so this is 7 Up versus 7 Up.
Oh yeah, by the way, at the pay-per-view in the Julia match, she was also still representing
really
7 Up.
funny.
So this is
So-
like an actual thing. that she's
Yeah,
still
I
represents
suspect
them.
this
Yeah.
will be the crowd pop match where you like turns on Momo and Kid and lets Jaguar and Momoe like beat the hell out of them for the win. So
Yes.
I suspect this is the
Yes. I say
match where they
yes.
like fully do the nostalgia, send the crowd happy stuff. So yeah, I could see you turning on her team and then letting Jaguar and Momoe kind of run back the hits. Or if not, NanaMomo just win because the match is built around them. They're
I think it's so easy for Momoe to just pin Kid with
definitely.
the
I mean, I know we
Momo latch.
said we,
Or
we
the
we
other way
did say
around,
that
technically,
Kid should
but probably
win
not.
the match, so like she probably should, but I could definitely see them doing the nostalgia thing and having Momo win.
I don't think I don't think there's anything wrong with having Kid over Momoe or Momoe over
Mm.
Kid here. Because like it's gonna end with the same move. Like that's how I feel about it. It should end with
Yeah.
the Momo latch. If you want to run it with Momoe, go ahead. If you want to run it with Kid, go ahead. Like I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. But yeah, interesting show. I'm actually excited for it because like part of it because it's gonna be a train wreck, but another part of it is because
Yeah,
it's like some of that
it's
looks
true.
really fun. And then okay, we're gonna kind of
There's only
power through
one.
these last couple shows. No,
No.
there's two.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, there's just one. And then yeah, so on August 20th, there is the 5 Star presents 5 Star. It's the Starverse, blah, 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 blah,
Wayne him.
words in
Dylan ain't
Namazu.
him.
I'm not pretending to be. On this card, there is.
There's only 2
Let's
GP
see what
matches.
Undercard has
Everything
to
else
offer.
is
Yeah, there's 2 GP matches. There's a young OAD versus Stars match that looks kind of
alright.
interesting with
It's
the
alright.
sisters pairing off. That's okay. 5 Star matches is Hazuki against Ami Sore. I pray to God Almighty and Jesus Christ, my Lord, that Hazuki finally
Jesus
takes a
Christ,
dub.
my
Because if she
Lord.
doesn't against Ami Sore, there will be so much
Jesus
wrong
Christ, my
with
Lord.
everything in this world.
I don't know.
What?
We've been
Why?
doing this so long, I'm delirious.
Ami has not won either, so I mean,
What do you say?
Ami has not won either, so you know.
She
they-
has
they
the
don't win.
Saya point already.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, technically,
I think
Hazuki already has that.
Hazuki probably
No,
has
she
to
doesn't
like
have that
win
yet.
out.
Oh my god. Yeah, but like that doesn't count. Like she has the
Yeah,
point.
but you know,
Even though
But
the
the match
doesn't
hasn't
matter.
happened yet.
Oh my god.
Saya hasn't
Bro,
forfeited the
so-
match yet.
Whatever.
Hazuki kind of has to win out.
But
The point in that book is so confusing.
yeah,
to me.
Hazuki
No,
pretty much has to win out from here.
It's like 3 people
she
that
could
have
drop
to
maybe
win
one
out.
more.
It's crazy, but
Well, yeah, no, that's the interest. That's what I mean. I think that Hazuki from here will win matches until the Suzu match, and
yeah.
that's when like the big decider, because that is maybe like what 2 shows before the end, and that's the match that'll decide one of their tournaments because they're both pretty rough out. So that's the match to really look for, in my opinion. I think Hazuki wins this one because she kind of needs it, and Ami's been getting beat regularly, like in tag matches and stuff. So it's not like she's ultra protected. I just think she needs like she'll probably upset Natsupoi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She might beat like 1 or 2. Like she doesn't really need that many points to do her job here. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
Hazuki should definitely win that and get her tournament really started finally. Please, like I said.
Yeah.
And then next up, and the last match to kind of preview is Mayu Iwatani against Natsuko Tora. I always say Mayu. I always want to say Mayu Iwatani the way that she said it in an old interview in like that like Slumber Party
I didn't watch
series.
those. I'm not a. I
They're
was
really
gonna say
funny.
something mean,
But at one
but I
point,
won't.
Oh,
I mean,
how have you not watched
Why?
those?
yeah, they're
Come
so
on.
I
classic.
get
They're
ick.
classic.
The ick of a slumber party video is too strong. I'm sorry.
But she said it in a very
Wow.
funny name.
Still,
In a very funny way. She went, "I'm Mayu Iwatani," and it was very funny.
oh,
Like
she's
just
getting
because she's a
cancelled.
weirdo.
Sounds like she's making fun of people.
Yeah, a
Cancelled.
little bit. No, I don't think she's making
Sounds
fun of
like
people.
it to me.
I think
I'm
it's just Mayu. I think
canceling
it's just
Mayu.
Mayu. I think
Canceling
it's just
Mayu.
Mayu.
She reads
So,
Jordan
yeah, so Mayu.
Peterson too.
Have you met Mayu?
I
You
bet
have
she
met
reads
Mayu.
Jordan Peterson. She's cancelled.
God damn it, Pamela.
Pamela.
Motherfucker.
brother government name there. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but it's Mayu against Natsuko Tora. This is a big. This could be really good, actually. I think that these two like they get it with each other. Um, I'm pretty sure this might be like their first big singles match in a while. I'm gonna check this out a little bit. But yeah, Sondre, how do you who do you think's winning this? How do you feel about this match? What are you looking for here?
I think Tora might get the upset here. I don't know. It's it's really not the match. I think works out so that Tora can
Oh,
win this. And
if
the
Tora
loss.
wins this, she's on 8
You want to know something?
points with 3 matches left. She'd almost have to lose every one to avoid winning.
Yeah, that's the problem with having a lot of Tora
Yeah.
matches early on. Like that, I hate that layout of that one wrestler almost
I
having
mean,
all the
Anu's
matches
pretty
in the
Anu's
first
pretty much
first
done
2
with their
weeks.
tournament.
Yeah.
She's like 2 matches.
Yeah,
But you want to know something
yeah.
wild? This is the first Maiutani versus Natsuko Tora singles match since Mayu defended the Woman of Honor Championship against Natsuko Tora in 2019, while Natsuko Tora
Wow.
was still in Jungle Assault Nation, and Jungle Assault Nation was still a thing. Uh,
Uh, How many points will Maya be at if she
7.
wins
yeah,
this?
and I think Mayu's sitting at
It's like
7's
4
probably
matches
smart.
left.
Okay.
This is going to a draw. Watch it go to a
No, it
draw.
can't go to a draw. She just went to a draw.
It'll go to a draw.
Uh,
It will end in a draw.
it might end in a DQ.
Hey, what if a
That's what I'm
count out
thinking.
draw?
That's possible. Actually, no, I could see that. I don't. Mayu's hard to book here because it's like it feels like she should just win the block because she's Mayu, but at the same time, it's like that's probably not smart. But also, one thing that we're not
Yeah.
really looking at is that, as I said before, the floor is 9 for points right now.
Yeah.
So Mayu has a few matches that she kind of should be winning here. Like it's not like she's like it's not like she's risking herself winning the entire thing like just too early. It's like Natsupoi has a pretty sizable gap between everybody. So she definitely could just win here. You know, like there's like a Shuri match coming up that she could lose, and there's like there are matches that like I think Mayu could definitely lose to keep her from just, being too strong. Whereas Natsuko, I feel like as Natsuko is she's gonna be pretty high up pretty soon. Like she doesn't have that many matches left even. Uh, I don't know. I feel like Mayu win or a draw because that kind of draw does kind of sound
Yeah.
interesting to me.
Tora winning is definitely like the only
I don't really see Tora
no
winning
go.
here.
Yeah, because then she'd have 3 matches left, and she'd basically only need like 3 points to essentially win the block. So she'd be a bit OP
And I
at that
also
stage.
I also
So
still have a gut feeling that Tora over Tam is a move that they might run. And I don't think she has to
maybe.
I don't think she has to beat both Mayu and Tam. Like I think that might be a bit overkill. So I'm banking on the Tam I'm banking on Tora over Tam more than I'm banking on Tora over Mayu. So that's that. I believe we are
Yeah.
done. Is that all? Oh, and then also the Multiverse United show. Julia against Deanna Purrazzo, Momokogo, and Giselle Shaw. I wonder who wins that one. Oh yeah, it's Julia. Cool.
It would be funny if she didn't survive Impact.
It's like I
And
went to
lost
Impact
again.
and Impact won,
That
baby.
would be really funny. Yeah, that would I would use that against
That
Julia for the rest of
puts
her
her goat
career.
status into contention. Like imagine if she becomes the greatest worker of all time. It's like, yeah, but she lost a match in Impact,
She
bro. Like,
doesn't
come
have a
on,
goat
like,
time.
that gives me the ick, bro. Like that's what's about to happen with Julia. But no, that's all. I believe that is all for the show. Um, Alex, did I miss anything? Did I do a good job? Are we cool? He's okay. That's
He's-
exactly what I expected from him. Yeah, next time join probably me and Alex alone because I hope he will be better by then. If not, join me and whoever I pull in to do this shit next week. Sondre, thank you so much for coming in short notice.
yeah.
I appreciate you dearly. It's been, we've been talking about getting you on the show for so long.
Hey, I've been wanting to get on the show forever, so I jumped at the
Yeah,
chance.
it was a total
So
pleasure
thank you.
to talk to you about
Eh,
some stardom. And I hope everybody enjoyed. My hosting is done for the day. So I suppose I will close the show. Alex, any closing remarks? Are you here now? I don't know.
I'm here. No, I'm all good. Yeah, we'll be back next week for all in week, baby. So I'll be in
Oh
the
yeah.
W mode. I
Fun.
won't. I'm
I
lying.
should say this. I should actually say this because we actually recorded a pretty big episode
go ahead.
earlier today in Dramatic Dream Dragons. We had
Holy
Ho Ho Lun
shit!
on our
That's
show today.
insane. That's awesome.
Yeah, we had Ho Lun on our show today. So that Dramatic Dream Dragons episode will drop tomorrow or Friday. So yeah, definitely check that out when that comes
For
out.
everybody listening,
because
tomorrow is Friday, so go check that out tomorrow.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, check it out. Check that out because Holland coming on, big guest for us.
That is awesome.
So
I'm actually really proud of you
definitely
guys.
check it
That's
out.
so dope. I fucking love Hulu. That's insane. I will definitely give that a listen. But yeah, go check them out at the Dramatic Dream Dragons, and go check
Yeah.
out the 5 Star Network because we be doing stuff over there. I'm supposed to do a thing with Xavi, but my internet did not work, so we're rescheduling it. But we will be doing that at some point. But that is all. Alex, how about you close the show since it's your bread and butter at this point?
All right. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in. Ijo.
Ijo.